very well throughout the season, even with Bridges coming and trading all of those picks. Even with all of that, they're still not good enough. And you got to sit here and wonder if Tatum didn't blow out his Achilles, would they have been good enough to hold off the Celtics in the second round?
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family, you might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona, and they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike, and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
I've been in the diamond business my whole life. Grew up in my dad's 22-store chain, and since 1990, I've been doing it on my own. Here's the truth. Big name stores can't match our prices. Why? Because they have massive overhead, fancy showrooms, huge marketing budgets, and layers of corporate costs. Every dollar they spend is a dollar you pay. But at my office, we keep it simple. No unnecessary overhead, just the best diamonds at the best prices. And when it comes to quality, we carry what the mall stores won't and what the luxury stores charge a fortune for. If you want the finest diamonds at the most competitive prices without the retail markup, come see me, Diamond Dave, and my team of experts. Because when you buy from us, you don't just get a diamond, you get confidence, quality, and the deal of a lifetime.
Call 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow Dave on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Download our free app at 1580thefanatic.com.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from the Weekend Warriors hanging out with us. And then Harris Hicks from, well, we just found him on the street. And yeah.
Finally, someone found me.
Well, he's been asked to leave several times, but he refuses. So we're like, well, as long as he's here. We got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Well, let's just start right off. This is not how I wanted to start the show, but that's how we're gonna. Corbin Burns needs the Jimmy John surgery.
No,
He's going to have a sandwich
Tommy, no,
implanted into
Jeffrey,
his elbow.
No, Jeffrey, that's wrong. That's wrong. Tommy John surgery.
Well, I've never had a sandwich from Tommy John's. I don't know how that's
it
even
has nothing to do with a sandwich. It has everything to do with removing a part of his elbow tendon. And
so he'll be back
replacing
in a
it.
couple weeks, right? Corbin Burns will be back, and
he won't. No, he'll be out the rest of the season.
Son of a-
12 to 18 months.
Most of next season.
Yeah, about 18 months, 12 to 18 months.
Dear brother.
Yeah.
But he'll be stronger.
Faster.
Well, they put this nice little sleeve on the tendon now to make it actually better.
Yeah, people usually pitch faster after they get.
Yeah,
Tommy
people
John.
throw harder after Tommy John.
Yeah.
No, I saw the movie where the kid could throw the ball so hard.
Yeah.
It's the same surgery. Don't lie to me. Anyway, Chief Skull says Jimmy John surgery, I hear, is freaky fast. Yeah,
No.
that's how you get freaky fast fastball.
No. It's not Jimmy
Why are
John's.
you coming around here being so negative today, Randy?
I'm not being negative.
I feel like you're being negative.
I'm spitting the truth here. Ralph will back me up. It's not Jimmy John.
When you say Ralph will back me up, you even
Yes.
hear what it
Yeah.
sounds like coming out of your mouth.
Well, I mean, if that, he is an Italian man, and listen, I fall for the good-looking ones.
So he's basically saying, Ralph, is he wants you to be the big spoon.
I prefer to be the big spoon. It's more like a pasta spoon, but I'll be
like the things like this, little hooks.
I got the hooks.
Yeah.
It's good because it makes it feel better.
So here comes Ralph.
Yeah. It's hooked for his pleasure.
I guess Corbin Burns was a great signing, huh?
Shut up, Ralph.
Boo. Boo.
We got an ace photo.
I saw Big George on Twitter going even farther, saying, "Way to overuse him, Baltimore." It's like, dude, just come on.
Way to overuse him, Baltimore,
or whoever he said it was. I don't know who he said. He might have said something else. I don't read everything.
You can tear a Tommy John without overuse. It's just a matter of angle of elbow, and if you just do it the wrong way a few times, you can go ahead and tear it.
Ralph's right. I'm afraid.
I'm always
right.
Don't be afraid.
Everybody's
I'm
all
always
like,
right.
"Oh yeah, Ralph."
Right.
You know what? I'm never going to give you that. I'm never going to give you that, Ralph.
Never.
I'm going to give you this. T-Licious says, "Suck it, Ralph." And happy Friday, mofos.
Wow. Happy Friday back to you,
Happy
mofo.
Friday back to you, T-Licious.
King of Kitten says, "I've got a buy one, get one free sub sandwich from Jersey Mike's Subs. I'm hungry."
See, that's not Jimmy John's. That's Jersey Mike's.
Well, he's just telling us he's hungry, and I don't blame him. And yeah, it is. It's also National Donut Day. I mean, we probably ought to be observing the fact that today is D-Day for the brave men and women who fought a strategically planned and well-executed battle that led to the end of the Second World War. But since it's the Daily Blender, hey, it's National Donut Day.
Yeah, wrong.
Hey, I think. Is there anything happening with the great donuts from Dunkin' and what's the other one?
Yes, Krispy Kreme has
Krispy Kremers. Yeah,
you walk into Krispy Kreme, you say, "Hi, I hear it's National Donut Day," and they'll just give you a donut, no questions asked.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, looks like I know where I'm going.
No
you're
purchase
getting dinner now.
necessary. You don't have to have an app. They're also doing a buy one get one glaze deal, where the second dozen is only $2.
Glazed are the best donuts by far.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
Oh, yeah.
I won't take any other.
Do they have gluten
You, you get the glazed and you get a nice cup of coffee. Oh my God! Now see, that's a good morning right
glazed
there.
and
Yeah.
coffee? That's
my God.
Did you guys hear the allergy kid over here? And do they have peanuts in them?
No, I said they have gluten free.
You got a nut
Do they
allergy.
have gluten free donuts?
Do
I
you
need
also
gluten-free.
have a nut allergy?
No, I have plenty of nuts.
Seafood allergy?
It's the gluten thing.
I'm allergic to graham crackers. Well, everybody has to leave the room when they have snack time for Ralph. Gluten free.
The poor kid at the peanut table at lunchtime.
Who walks in and says, "Give me a gluten-free donut"? I mean,
Me?
I'd throw your ass out. I would physically have you removed from my establishment
Do
if
they
I sold
have-
donuts.
Do they have the gluten-free donuts? And
I'm sorry for your gluten issues, but no.
What are
Can
they
you
made
deport
out of?
Ralph too?
Kale or
Kale.
Wow.
I'll give you a kale donut. That's gluten-free,
Jeffrey
right?
said
Green,
he'd
I don't-
deport me yesterday, Ralph.
Deport you?
Yeah, he said
I
he'd
did
deport
threaten
me.
to deport
He
him. I don't
threatened to
remember
deport me.
why, but I could make good on that.
Back to
Oh, yeah.
Nicaragua, where
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
was sick.
Oh,
and
you
got
got that
worms.
Nicaraguan mustache, so it's possible.
you sure do.
They're gonna,
I sure did.
they're
I
gonna
just
see you
couldn't
with
tell
the
It's a compliment.
you show up
That's
as I have
right.
deported you, and you're walking through customs, and the guy from the officials there in
Oh, yeah.
Nicaragua is going to go, yeah, how in English do you say twink? I mean, what is, what's up with that?
Twink.
And he's going to be doing this. There's something right there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be. Oh yeah, is there something? Is there something?
Senor, you got
Oh, wait.
something on your upper lip.
Oh, there is
senor.
something. It's pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Getting a lot of filthy glaze and gluten-free nut glaze kind of things. I'm not going to read, but
Excuse me?
yeah, I know. Krispy Kreme, like I said, giving everybody a free donut no matter what. Dunkin' will give you a free donut if you buy coffee or any other
Hey.
beverage.
So
Hey.
Randy could get a free donut.
Oh, I
There
could
you
go.
go.
There's
Well,
a
it's a
Dunkin'
coffee.
right down the road from my house here. I could. Hey guys, I'll be gone for about 15 minutes while I go get me a free donut and coffee.
We know where Randy.
No. You have to buy the coffee to get the donut.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Dunkin'
yeah.
not as cool as Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I'll buy the coffee. I love Dunkin' Donut coffee. Love
By
it.
the way, you know who started the National Donut Day was the Salvation Army back in 1938.
No
Really?
kidding.
They were
That's
trying
so
to honor
interesting.
the donut lasses who handed out donuts to soldiers in World War One, and they're also hosting the annual World Donut Eating Championships, and that's happening today. I don't know. I think it's already happened. Last year, James Webb set a new record: 70 glazed donuts in 8 minutes.
I think.
Wow.
I think Randy could beat that.
Diabetes.
I think Randy could beat that.
7.
I don't think Randy can beat that. Randy, what are you trying to say?
immediately-
Randy's a big, fat, disgusting
No,
pig.
Randy-
Harris? Is that what
Randy
you're saying?
is-
Wow, that's aggressive. man.
Randy is
Wow.
beautiful.
Randy could do that easy
no,
because
no,
he's
no,
a
no.
big, nasty, fat ass with diabetes like Wilfred Brimley. He didn't eat his oatmeal. He's a big piece of bleep.
First off, Randy, I did not know you had diabetes.
Wow, I don't have the
sorry.
diabetes.
Oh,
I think you're trying to give me the
Way
diabetes.
to focus on the right, wrong.
That was the wrong thing.
I'm just digging myself a hole here. Unfortunately, I'm
And then
You
digging
just, called
myself
me
a grave.
you just called me a big fat waste of space. Is what
I
you
did
did.
not.
He was
Randy,
okay with all that.
I think you are a perfectly sized,
Harris is over here.
handsome,
My
beautiful man.
650-pound host. Oh, what's this? We're going to cut a piece of the wall away so we can get Randy to the next remote broadcast.
He just said he was
Damn,
perfect-
Harris.
He's perfectly sized. Is that what you said?
I said perfectly,
perfectly
sized.
sized.
Perfectly
Yeah, cover who?
sized.
Coming from somebody who's fun sized.
Yeah.
I am
Nobody
fun
needs to hear
sized.
it.
Wow.
No one's ever called me.
Gee.
Actually, no, I have been
Sorry,
called
Randy.
fun-sized. My basketball coach
Sorry
called me
that,
fun-sized.
you have to
It is.
weather
I
the
mean,
attacks
Oh,
of Harris.
No,
Look,
Randy,
I know,
you should
I know.
never be ashamed in your body.
What's
You're
that? Harris
perfectly
says
sized.
that that's not elder abuse. He's not old. Now Harris is calling you old.
Did he say
I
elder
know.
abuse?
Yeah, he
No,
says,
no,
I'm sorry
no,
for
no,
the
no.
elder abuse.
I said you should
Wow.
never
He
be
said,
ashamed.
I'm sorry for the
Harris,
elder
Randy,
abuse,
in
you
your
fat
body.
bastard with
No,
diabetes.
he's putting words in my mouth.
Mike
Harris-
McCarthy wannabe.
Wow.
You're really stepping in it today. Starting
Jeez,
off a
Harris.
Friday on the wrong
Stepping
foot.
in it.
Maybe you
I'm
need to
stepping
take a
in it.
Wow.
few moments to yourself there to just not be so angry and hateful towards Randy.
Shoot, man. I mean, I'm not that threatening since I'm fun-sized. I will say that. But Randy,
It's not a compliment. You know that, right?
Yes.
If your girlfriend ever tells you that, it's not good.
Especially when she looks down. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, fun size.
You're fun size.
she's never told me that. She said
I was
perfectly
hoping
sized.
to get the full
Thanks
size
for
bar,
asking.
but I guess not.
Perfectly sized. Your mom's listening.
Harris is like, I'm a grower.
I'm a grow.
It's cold.
I am a
It's
farmer.
cold.
I do grow things.
I'm not a shower. I'm a grower. Anywho,
Uh.
Dimeback dude says, never knew Ralph was such a pansy.
What?
He's a true femdom.
How do you
What?
figure?
Oh, I think it's the gluten thing.
Femdom.
I can't help it if I eat gluten and have to go into the corner in a fetal position because I'm in so much pain. It's not my fault.
Femdom. I
Man.
thought that was a term for like a feminist.
I don't know.
Femdom.
I'm definitely not a feminist.
Well,
Yeah, you are. I mean, I thought you were. not
he's the
gonna lie.
opposite.
Yeah.
Trust me.
This guy, yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been called a misogynist many times. Never a feminist.
Moist one
I think he's
says,
both.
those people are sick.
Feminist?
Rich people.
That's a good question.
Wait, those feminists? Is that what he's talking about?
Just the Tip says Ralph is one of the smarmiest, most self-indulgent people you've ever had on air. I know you won't say their names, but there's a ton of co-hosts that'll do a better job. Thank God for sponsorship money.
Who is that?
Just the Tip.
What is your problem,
I
man?
I think he likes you.
You having a bad day?
I think he just doesn't.
Just a Tip is our most unfiltered texter.
I think
But you
Harris is
never know
far
what
more
he's gonna
smarmy than you are.
What does smirmy mean?
Smarmy.
Smarmy. What does that
What's
mean?
that mean? I don't know that word.
Look it
Smarmy.
up. Smarmy.
I'm
Look it up.
afraid to look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Is it a good thing?
Smarmy.
No, so
ARMY.
Not really.
Interrogating or whettling.
You really
wheedling
just
in a
look
way
up
that is
video,
perceived
smarmy guy. Look
as
up a video.
Insincere.
Hey, stop
and
reading to my
excessive.
ear. I want to read text. Grand Mariner says, great. Thanks, Jeffrey. Now I'm hungry for donuts while I'm supposed to be fasting. What gives? Why are you fasting? Is
Yeah,
today
what's
like
happening?
a day we're supposed to fast?
Oh, wait, maybe he's going to have a colonoscopy. He's
Is
gotta
it
fast for
Ramadan
24
Ding Dong
hours.
time?
Maybe,
Is it-
maybe. Or maybe he's going to have a colonoscopy.
On a Saturday?
Maybe. That's
Yeah.
the best day to have
Or
it.
a
Are you
full
kidding
weekend
me?
to fast because it's Monday.
Oh,
and he's got a
no.
lot
They
of crap
wouldn't do
on there.
that to him. They wouldn't do that.
Depends how much he's got loaded.
Yeah, that's another
Wow.
thing.
Wow, you must really be packed.
Yeah.
National Colonoscopy Day was on March 7th. So
Oh
I
my
don't think he's
gosh.
getting a colonoscopy today.
You know, you don't have to only have the colonoscopy on March 7th. You can have a colonoscopy whenever you feel like somebody sticking a tube up your keister and getting some stuff done.
And who would
Mm.
feel that? Who would want that?
Oh, that's the thing. Some people do it awake. I will never do it awake.
I know
Some
that do it
people
awake.
do it
Wow.
awake.
I want to be knocked out.
Yeah, I know people
I,
that do
I
it
think
awake.
Moist One would do it awake.
I've told the story. I told the story when I had the colonoscopy. There was a couple of things. I made sure I found a doctor with small fingers. I
Yeah.
did.
Uh-huh,
No,
uh-huh,
little.
yeah.
He was creepy though. So then,
Yeah.
since he was creepy, I'm like, I need the propofol and knock me out. I don't want to
Oh, yeah.
know
Yeah.
anything else that happens. I'm not going to know about it. So have fun.
Have at it.
Have fun. Just do what you need to do. Can I get a discount? Just anything. So I mean, like, and I said, hey, by the way, while you're up there, check prostate. You know,
I'm sure he did.
so I don't have to. Yeah.
He's
So
so tight.
yeah.
He squeaks when he walks.
I did after that. So
Wow, it must be Friday.
Rocky Top says nothing wrong with having diabetes and being 650 pounds. I took that personally.
Wow.
Well, at least I know one thing: I can easily outrun you.
Rocky Top is representing my state accurately. As
Oh.
I've seen a
Oh,
lot of
everybody
Tennessee,
there is
Oh.
fat,
a lot of
disgusting
Tennessee
bastards.
fans. Well, a lot of Tennessee fans are fat. I'll be honest, and they're all wearing those checkered overalls. But it's awesome.
Dude, you're digging a hole today.
I mean, it's all. But what they are
So
on the
Harris
inside
thinks
makes up for it.
everybody but him is fat.
No,
That's what he said.
no, I don't. I think Randy.
Why going back to Randy? See, you're going
Why,
right
why
back.
are you calling me fat?
I know.
What
I
the
just
hell did I
zeroed
do
in
to
on
you,
Randy.
Randy?
Hey, listen,
Wow.
I've got
Is
a
this-
dad
is
bod
this-
going here. In fact, the
is
guy I had to deal with a worker guy today, and I swear to God, he looked down at my gut. I thought he was going to ask me when I was due. He stared for longer than he should have
Wow.
in this area down
Sure, isn't it
here.
your gut?
Mm.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm
Did
like,
you go? Hey, 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 hey! My eyes are up here.
right here.
Up here. Up
My
here.
eyes are
Jack.
up here.
Up here. Yeah.
Donnie says Ralph must have had a rough day yesterday with his parents fighting. Yeah. I said yesterday, you're the most confused person. It's
That was
like,
funny.
he just bought a Tesla,
That
and
was
then
very
that
funny.
happens. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
I feel like I'm lost.
Yeah.
That was very funny. Gotta keep on
Dimeback
that.
Dude says, sorry, I'm in a bad mood now after this Corbin Burns news. Nothing personal,
Uh-oh.
Ralph. Just
Yeah.
trigger happy over here. Is it football season yet? We're getting there. We are
close.
getting
Yeah.
You're
closer.
a Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
What do you care?
Oh, that's just not right.
Oh, Ralph.
See, now
Go from one pain to another.
Oh,
I
had
mean,
people
Ralph.
feeling sorry for you for 1 minute.
Oh, man.
just saying.
I don't even think Harris has called you fat yet.
He will.
Mm.
Oh, I know
No.
he will. He's just a bastard about that.
He's going from
He's
person to person.
Ralph Ralph and Randy are
Stop.
both perfectly sized men.
Whoa. Don't put me in there.
You say they're perfectly sized.
You don't want to
Yes.
be in with me?
Okay.
Ralph? What's wrong
Not
with
on
that?
this one, man.
All right. Can I just say this here at the radio station? New rule: you use the outside bathroom from now on. Talking about people's
darn it.
sizes.
No, what are you looking at?
I didn't even know there was an outside bathroom.
Yeah, there's
It's called the bush.
across. Yeah,
The
no, there's
bush,
across
yeah.
the courtyard. You need a special key, but it's all yours. You just
Yeah, oh, yeah.
stay out of the urinals.
As long as I
Um,
can get that special key.
Just the tip says Smarmy buys a Tesla. Yeah, are you trying to do like
don't have a
episode
Tesla.
lit names for Ralph's life? Smarmy buys a Tesla. The gang goes and yeah. By the way, you know, driving a Tesla, you can never go up into the snow now.
Why not?
Yeah, you should go up in the snow.
No, you can.
No, you
That's a
can't. Those
myth.
things. No, it's not a myth.
That's a myth.
Oh my. Okay.
People
Sure.
own them in snow areas.
Boy, that salesman saw you coming. Moist One says, wait, oh, sorry. Taco Kinney says, fasting for a colonoscopy on a Saturday would suck for me. I'm Hispanic and my wife is Italian. That means no cervezas, no pasta for me. With that said, a beer and a shot, though, if I could have one right now, Randy.
Wow, I mean, absolutely. Let me take care of you. Boy, wow. I
That's
still
a-
don't understand why he's fasting if he has an Italian. I have an Italian wife, and she's got. I'll just say, she's melting some cheese, and she fried up some chorizo for
I
tonight.
wanted to
So, just saying.
I always leave the
Ah.
show so hungry.
Mm.
And this is why we talked about donuts.
Why don't
Blaming
I
it
have
on Randy.
chorizo?
cheese.
He's blaming it
I
on
don't
Randy.
know. I don't know.
She makes chorizo? Or did-
She
No, you
bought some
buy it.
chorizo
Oh.
and she's making
Oh.
a special dip. We have my kids are coming over tonight. My
That's
daughter's
awesome.
flying in with my grandson.
Oh, I just had an idea.
And my other daughter's coming over with both my grandchildren that she has, and then my son is coming over with my grandson and granddaughter.
Let me see here if my wife is listening here.
Okay.
Oh, damn it,
Right.
she's listening.
Okay.
She says, "Hi, love. Have a great show. I love you. Please don't get sick. Ralph is in the room."
Did she say that? I can't believe her, man.
Well,
That's
you were
ridiculous.
the outbreak monkey
You're the
on
super
COVID.
spreader.
No, you keep go ahead and try to push that narrative.
If
but
she's
here's the
listening, I'm
thing.
going to give you a big hug.
No, you're not.
I'm going to blow in your ear. I'm going to make
You're-
sure.
You're really not.
Yeah, it's happening.
Well, see, the plan was if she wasn't listening, I was thinking if I got a. Here's the problem. My wife is a very fit lady, and she's very healthy, and she feeds me healthy, but she hasn't figured out to not let me go back for seconds and stuff because like she makes great food, and even though it's healthy, I eat plenty, and so I'm about 20 pounds overweight, and but she's always making healthy food. And it's like she doesn't make chorizo, and she was saying, "Oh, when I was a kid, I used to get the scrambled eggs and shrimp." And I was like, "Oh, I'd love some." She's like, "It's never happening." And because she's like, "Well, it's the cholesterol is too high." I'm like, "I don't care. I want." And she's like, "You can't. I'm not making." I'm like, "Damn it." So here's what the idea. If I could get her hypnotized and forget that part. Like, I don't know how you specifically hypnotize some. Oh, Randy's got the gold pocket watch there.
Alex, are you watching?
Yeah.
Look, concentrate on the swinging watch here.
You know, shrimp is good. Chorizo is good. I'm not saying get rid of everything healthy, but maybe if I could ever hypnotize to believe shrimp and chorizo are good.
You're getting sleepy.
I think I'm getting hypnotized.
That's the only
right
stuff.
now I just started zeroed in on Randy's watch, and I think I'm hypnotized.
Go ahead and
Shrimp,
just be
chorizo
hypnotized,
and,
Harris.
eggs,
Just
are good.
don't ruin this for me.
yes,
If I
they are.
can, if I can get
Okay.
my wife hypnotized
Okay,
to
Randy.
believing that shrimp and chorizo are healthy.
Eggs are good.
Yeah.
Chorizo's
No,
good.
Shrimp
sometimes
and
on Saturday
chorizo.
mornings,
Shrimp
Neil
and
will come over
chorizo.
to go to do the show, and my wife's
Yeah.
cooking chorizo, and she's making this whole spread. I mean,
Mm.
so she's big on that. Obviously, she's
My wife
is it-
brings me
is it-
delicious
is it
strawberry
gluten-free?
healthy shakes. So I think if people came over to my house, everybody get a shake. Here's a shake. Here's a shake.
Yeah, nobody would come over.
Don't ask what the no. They actually are good though. They are good.
Yeah, that's great. Have some chorizo.
Lost Toby says only 20 pounds overweight.
That's
No,
what I was
no,
looking at.
Yeah,
too.
20 is what I have to lose. That's it.
I'm only 35.
You're only 35 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
How about,
Harris thinks I'm perfect, but
He's perfect. As are you,
Perfect size.
Randy.
perfectly sized.
that's just Harris
Perfectly
being smarmy.
sized.
Harris,
Smarmy?
you're not
What
you're
is
not going to
smart-
get anywhere now.
What does
you've
Smurby
already
mean?
done it and said it.
Dang it, Randy. Dang it. Now I feel
Jersey
bad.
Murph
Feel
says Diamondbacks question.
Yes.
With all the pitching injuries and woes this year, is it fair to scrutinize the Diamondbacks pitching coach hire this last offseason? Brent Strom was a proven coach. Well, we have already spent quite a bit of
Yeah.
time criticizing that Diamondbacks pitching coach, but is that a good point? That
Yeah,
maybe
well,
we
I
shouldn't
mean,
because of the injuries?
Well, I don't know what has anything to do with what one thing has to do with the other. I don't know that Brian Kaplan is it Brian Kaplan? Is that his name?
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know that he has anything to do with the injuries that the pitching staff, but he's certainly responsible for the pitching staff's preparation and getting fit and ready to pitch and helping them with strategy and how they're going to pitch each game. That's part of his job. And it seems like a lot of times these pitchers are not either they're not prepared or they're not physically ready to go because they go out there and they're supposed to pitch one way and they're throwing the ball over the middle of the plate. I could blindfolded, having been out of baseball for so long, hit one if it's over the plate. Geez, you just got to stick your bat out there, let the ball do all the work. So the bottom line is, I think they made a mistake in bringing in Kaplan over Strom. I think Strom is a Hall of Fame pitching coach. What I understand was there was a difference of philosophy between Brett Strom and the Diamondbacks organization. So he went his own way, and now I think he's with the Pirates. So I don't really like that move. I'm not in favor of that move, and so far it hasn't shown to be a good move, in my opinion.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. And when we come back, I have a very important announcement from Officer Friendly.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Officer Friendly
Okay.
has, for this weekend,
Uh-huh.
Really good tips.
Wow.
No, I'm serious. This
yes.
is huge. You're going to want to listen to this if you're going to
All
be
right.
doing any driving this weekend.
Yes.
Officer Friendly
will be.
is doing us a solid
All right.
by giving us this information. I will pass that on to you when we return. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text both to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BOTH to 42424. That's both to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Pacers are going to have to do what they did against the Knicks, plus against Oklahoma City, who can run people off the bench as well, who can run you out of the building if they so choose. Defensively, they're terrific as a team, has won their conference as I've seen in some time. And it's also the matchup between two teams that lead the league and lead their conference in having their fans all wear the same colored shirts.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And boy, we have a load of text to get to. But the most important text right now, you're going to want to hear from Officer Friendly. actual. Well, I'm not going to tell you where he's a police officer. I think he told me in the past, but
it's probably good.
We're going to keep that on the DL.
Yep.
But he says public service announcement to the fourth dimension.
All right.
We will be patrolling the Loop 202 Red Mountain Freeway heavily this weekend in Mesa. Our particular focus will be those camping out in the fast lane and unsecured loads. Like Ralph. I think Ralph might be an unsecured load.
Mine's secured.
He's definitely a load. Anyway, he says we'll be going after speeders going over 20 miles an hour of the 65 mile an hour speed limit. So drive safely.
Ah, there you go.
So that's why I didn't get pulled over today.
Yeah.
So we get a 20 mile an hour grace.
That's
good to
I
know.
have a hard time thinking that's real.
20 mile per hour grace.
So if it came from officer friendly, it's on the up and up.
I wouldn't say you have a 20 mile an hour grace. I'd say at most you do 10. Be reasonable. Maybe don't go over 80.
Oh,
if
yeah.
You know.
I mean, you see most people on the 101 and stuff, they're going 80.
Okay. So let me tell you my experience, and I don't know if it's different other places. When I come up out of the bowels of Queen Creek, then I get up on the 24 to the 202, and then I come around. I always like to go with the Red Mountain Freeway where he's talking about. And off the Red Mountain Freeway, I head north on the 101. So on that, those patches, when I get on the 202, 80 miles an hour is fine. 80 is good. Nobody's giving you a hard time, and you're not giving anyone else a hard time.
Traffic's flowing.
Yeah. Once you get on the 101, there you better pump it up to 83, or else you're going to get rammed in the rear. So,
ooh, that sounds like something that Moist One would like.
Not in the way Moist One would like. So
never
I
mind.
think that according to what he's saying,
and
I don't know, officer friendly, are we safe doing 80 in a 65, or should we back that down to 78? Or where are we safe from Johnny Law taking us over on the side of the road?
What triggers you?
That's a good question, Ralph.
I'd like to know what triggers him to want to go pull someone.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were asking me what triggers
No,
me.
I don't want to know.
I got one word: Harris. So
just in general.
Yeah, just in general. But as far as what will get you pulled over?
I think
Well,
he means trigger for happiness.
he gave some hits. I'm just ignoring him. I'm giving some hints here. So if you read his text, he says, our focus is people who camp out in the fast lane. So basically, that's my whole thing. Get out of the way. You're safe if you get out of other people's way. And that creates road rage. That creates issues and accidents. So that's one part where he says, we're going after people who camp out in the fast lane and people who have unsecured loads, stuff on a trailer that could come flying off, or, you see it happen all the time with those landscaping trailers where all of a sudden the lid from a garbage can goes flying. So I think those sorts of things, maybe even more dangerous things. And the other part is, people going over 20, you're going to definitely get pulled over. I was going 83 today and I got passed by a DPS officer.
Wow.
And I was like, woo. So I backed off. Always show respect.
Yep.
If they pass you and you're like, I'm safe. No, don't stay at that speed. You're going to piss them off. Oh, yeah. Officer Friendly says we're focusing on criminal speeding this weekend, which means 21 or more over the speed limit. I do not condone going 10 or 20 over in a 65. We're just not focusing on that this weekend on the Loop 202.
So criminal speeding, does that mean you can arrest somebody for going?
That means that you get, it's a felony and you get a boot on the back of your neck as they put you in handcuffs.
Wow.
So let me ask you, Officer Friendly, what is the safe buffer?
He's not going to ever tell you.
What is the safe
He's
buffer?
not going to tell you that.
Yeah, he can.
No,
I've been told this before by officer in a different area. And I said, what is the safe speed where it's like, I'm not going to go exactly the speed limit. And then that guy says, well, 8 miles an hour over in this context is fine. 5 over in this context is fine. So, I mean, it's, a general thought process.
Yeah.
If you're on the freeway, what's a safe speed to not get pulled over?
I've always thought it was about 9 miles an hour over.
I'd always heard 7 or 8.
Yeah. I've always done 9 personally.
I got pulled over going 12. So that was
that's a bit much.
That's neither 7, 8, or 9.
Yeah.
So
I was not happy.
He's
when I
not
got
good
pulled
with
over.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just going to be curious and officer friendly. We're not going to take it as a promise either. You can get pulled over for anything. You know what I'm saying? We're just looking for the reasonable and prudent
I've
speed.
always been told, and I found this to be true. As long as you're doing the flow of traffic, you're not interfering with the flow of
Right.
traffic. So if everybody around you is going 78 to 80, and you're going 78 to 80, you're not passing cars
Sure.
like they're going, then you're safe. But if you're passing cars like
Weaving
they're
in and
going out
out.
of state,
Yeah.
and if you're having to change lanes a lot to get around cars, then you stand out. It's all about, don't make yourself a target by standing out and doing something that's that's different than everybody else.
Let me see if Officer Friendly agrees with the way I used to be a driving instructor. It was one of my
Really?
little extra jobs on the side to make more money.
Mhm.
And I was a good driving instructor. And I would always teach the kids this. Okay, here's the 3 lanes. Now, if there's more than these lanes, then just, be reasonable, act accordingly. But there's the first lane is the get on the freeway, get off the freeway lane. Don't sit in that lane, because you're going to end up having to deal with people getting on and off. Just that's what you get on,
Yeah.
you get off, then you get out of the way.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
The middle lane, I call that the flow of traffic lane. You get in that lane, you make sure you're not tailgating the guy in front of you, but you're also not slowing down so bad that there's a pile of traffic behind you there.
Right.
The fast lane is not the fast lane. The fast lane is the passing lane. You go there to go around somebody else. And again, same rule applies. If people are going very fast in that lane and your intention is to not go fast in that lane, stay the hell out of that lane. That's all he says. Don't camp in that lane. That's supposed to be a passing lane. So if somebody's going too slow in the, I call the flow of traffic lane, go to the passing lane, and then just remember, stay safe, keep out of other people's way. If they're faster than you, get out of their way and you won't have any problems. Simple as that. That is the way I would teach kids. I would take them down and make them drive around the airport. Yeah, I know, right?
Really?
And they, after I gave them that speech, they figured it out. They're like, "You're right. Okay, we're good."
You must have been a way harder driving instructor than what I had in Tennessee.
No, I was easy. It was year 2000 back when I was doing it.
I took 2 right turns, like 3 right turns. You turn right. Oh, red light. Stop at the light. Green. Go. You park. Bam. There. Driver's
Training
license.
for NASCAR.
Took me like
A lot of
took me,
left-hand
like,
turns in Tennessee.
Literally, it's
lot
like
of
I'm
lefts.
at Bristol
Yeah.
Motor Speedway. So
Yeah.
I was yeah, it took me about a couple minutes, and let's just say I'm a licensed driver because of it. So, yep.
Officer Friendly says each officer is different and is within their discretion according to the conditions of the roadway and the flow of traffic. But I always give people 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So
Really?
doing 75 and 65, you'll most likely be fine. Just don't stand out by driving recklessly.
Yeah.
See,
Officer
don't stand
Friendly's
out.
the man.
What Randy
Yeah.
said.
Thank you
Yeah.
for telling us this stuff, Officer Friendly. We
Cruise.
appreciate this.
Cruise along, be peaceful,
Amazing information.
don't get in the way, and don't harass other people if they're going slower than you.
And
Yep.
A young guy with a little mustache on, he's going to get pulled over first.
Yeah, I probably.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
see
I
you and
have
go,
been.
Can I just
"There's
say,
drugs in that car."
any cop that pulls over Harris, the minute he sticks his face up in the window, he's going to go, "Are you mocking me with that mustache?"
Oh, they'll be like, "Nice stash, man. I love it."
I
I'll be
really
like,
doubt
"Thank you."
that compliment is
Yeah,
coming.
I don't see that.
Really, from
I
anyone.
disagree. I think it's gonna
Just
come.
the tip says Arizona is a reasonable and prudent to maintain the flow of traffic kind of state. Also, is such things as speed-specific lanes in Arizona or any state with exits on both sides of the freeway. I'm not sure what he's trying to say, but since we know he drinks, I'm really hoping he's at home.
Mhm.
Hefty Lefty says, "Happy Friday, everyone. Do you think Halliburton injects the comments that doubt the Pacers into his veins? He's figuring out how to turn that into a drug that just rips the victory from the jaws of defeat."
Wow.
I think a
I
lot
think he
of
does.
I think a lot of athletes overplay the he doubted me or I've been doubted. Tyrese Halliburton was literally voted by the players most overrated NBA player.
He'll show them.
So he was doubted, extremely doubted. And it's not just the people growing up, it's the people who he's playing against that doubted him. And that's what makes this story so riveting to watch.
Let me
to
get caught up on the text line, and then we will get to that story. Let's see here. The Last Optimist says, "I saw a urologist after passing a kidney stone. He said he might as well do a prostate exam while he was in there. And after the exam, he said, everything's okay, and you're not gay."
Jeez.
He says, now I'm old enough, I need to find a doc and get a colonoscopy. He actually told you that? I mean, I figure like you could have told him that. Quiet Cannon says, hey, Ralph.
Yeah.
Have you checked out the cost of recharging your Tesla? Friend of mine has owned one for 2 years, and he's not bragging at all about the cost of power of those things in the charging stations.
Actually, I don't use a charging station because I have a wall charger at my house, so I pay 7 cents a kilowatt hour. So I spend about $30 a month to charge my car. That's it. So it's way worth it.
And he drives upwards of 10 miles a month.
I don't drive a lot.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I mean,
10
if you're paying,
miles a month.
just to give you an idea, I pay 7 cents at home, but if you go to those superchargers, you can pay upwards of 50 cents. So it's a big difference.
The wise
That's a
guy
massive
says, hey, let me know if you need me to take care of some of them insulting texters there, Ralph. I know a guy.
See, I like this.
Guys.
Yeah.
Capiche?
Yeah,
He's got a guy.
We need to talk
Yeah.
after
He's
the
got
show.
a guy.
Yeah.
Chief
Yep.
Skull says, time to save Triple H after perfect size comment. When it came to the Corbin Burns news, we all knew it was happening when he said his elbow was gone. It's par for the course with Diamondback pitchers. They need to change something to stop the Tommy John curse they've got. I don't think they're Tommy John curse. That's just the game
That's
today.
just baseball. I agree with you.
No, they're not Tommy John cursed. It's very common. And Corbin
Your mustache
Burns
is cursed.
with greatness. I think
No,
is what you're trying to
dude,
say.
it's really-
Yeah, I think he's trying to say that.
It's
Wow.
the era of baseball that we live in, with everything is velocity. So you train these guys
Mhm.
velocity, and this is what happens. They start
Yep.
getting Tommy Johns.
Yep.
So getting 2 or 3 of these in your career is very common.
He had a lot of mileage too. You know, that running back, we talked about this. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not going to say that anymore. But
Running back?
that
What?
running back that gets over 300 carries in a season, and he's coming in next season with a lot of mileage. And then you're like, oh, he might get hurt. He might not. You never know. He has a lot of mileage on him. And a lot of times they end up getting hurt. Corbin Burns, you could say, is that guy.
Sorry, I didn't have lunch. Lost
neither.
Toby says George is apparently in an airplane right now, listening to the show, and he can't text in. He said to fire all the pitching staff per his YouTube comments.
Ah.
I wonder
Not
why
surprising
our
coming
YouTube
from-
sometimes will let you comment, sometimes it won't.
You just have to turn them on. They build
No,
it.
I never touch it, so it just does it itself. I don't know. I don't know. He says, "Hello, gentlemen. This is Big George from 39,000 feet over Texas, Panhandle, flying to Pittsburgh." He says the app works great up here. Sad news about Corbin Burns needing the Tommy Johns. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit here watching for your texts on the YouTube app. So I feel like if you can get the show at 39,000 feet. Oh, that's right. He can't text from his phone, can he?
No.
Oh, well, see you tomorrow. Donnie.
Yeah, no, he can.
What?
I texted you from my phone when I was up flying. So yeah, you can.
Ah.
Oh, that's right. If your phone is on the
Yeah,
internet.
you just get the internet. You
Turn
pay the $8, get the internet, and you can text.
Hmm.
Sometimes you don't even have to pay the $8. It depends on the airline. Sometimes you just get free messages. What airline is he flying?
Well, he's not on Rich Boy Airline. He's on Grown Up
What did he
People
say?
Airline.
Nor am I. I'm not on Rich Boy Airline. And
As my entire family goes on vacation together to the beach. It's a laugh. I mean,
Okay, I did fly
cheers,
Delta to the
cheers
beach.
to your dad, though, for that.
I did
That-
fly Delta to the beach. I'll be
The fact
honest.
your dad is making the kind of money where he can get everybody from the family into a yearly vacation at a beach somewhere. Good on you.
That is not
Good
the
on you,
case.
Don.
But yep, thanks, Dad. But that's not the case.
Dimeback dude said, "Did you pay for anything?"
The flights, yes. I paid for some of it.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be honest.
paid
My,
for your college. Shut
my
up.
parents did help me. They did help me. But I paid
Dimeback
for some of it.
Dimeback. See, now this changed. I paid for my flight. Well, some of it, just a bit.
Just some of it.
I
yeah.
I bought snacks.
Dang it, Jeffrey! You exposed me.
Dimeback dude says, "I blame the pitch clock for causing all the." No,
No.
there were Tommy John issues. It's not the pitch clock. It's the
No.
fact that baseball
Well-
starts when you're an amoeba and you're throwing too many pitches, and that takes all the mileage out of you by the time you get to the Major League Baseball.
I agree with that, but I also agree with him because the pitch clock is forcing pitchers to have to hurry their mechanics. And when you hurry your mechanics, you can make a mistake. You can lead your elbow a little bit. You can twist it a little bit because you're being forced to go faster. It does cause problems. I do agree with that because we have seen an increase since that clock has come into play.
Really?
But I agree
Ooh,
with
hate,
every-
I
agree
hate
with everything else
that.
you're saying,
I hope
too.
that's not true. I hope it's not true, but if it is true, I guess something's got to change. But Dimeback dude says, yeah, it's stressing the arms of these pitchers,
It
along
is.
with the emphasis on velo.
Yep.
Which, by the way, is velocity.
Yes, I know that.
Well, I'm saying that for Randy.
Okay.
Hefty Lefty says
I had to explain it in the previous show,
Harris
Ralph.
has quite the perplexing look to him. He looks like a high school sophomore, except for that upper lip. Ironically, needs to stay at least 500 feet away from a school with that mustache. Really, Harris has the kind of mustache where he needs to stay 500 feet away from himself.
Wow.
How's that
How do
for
you do that?
philosophy?
Wow.
Oh, philosophical.
Yeah, I tell you how you do it. You shave the dumb thing off.
No.
Oh, how long are you going to have that thing? You're very stubborn. I think you just keep it because everybody thinks you should take it off.
I think I'm going to keep it at this point. It's
Shave the ends.
I actually
tried to
thought
tell
about
him
that.
Do the
I
eight
thought of
It looks like a
Yeah.
caterpillar who's died on your lip, and the other ends are just dead on the sides. If you were to shave up like that, then you can start to work on your little Raleigh finger thing you were
See, that's what I want. I want the French mustache.
Yeah, but
thing
that
right
doesn't
here.
come from this. That comes from up
Moist
here.
one wants to give you a French
Oh.
mustache. I don't
What?
know what that is. It just sounds dirty.
Yeah, I don't know what that process. Is
All right,
gonna look
listen.
like. I don't want any part of it.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about last night. What a game. That was so much fun to watch. And I did not believe. Now I'm a believer. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx saved you a lot of money, saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
What a time we live in. Self-driving cars, AI writing emails for us, complete meals that get delivered to our door. You can even listen to your favorite Fanatic radio shows for free. Ah, yes, it truly is the greatest time to be alive. Download the free 1580 The Fanatic app. Get it wherever you get your favorite apps today.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Randy, you got some big grilling ready for this weekend?
No.
All right, then.
No, it's going to be too hot to grill. I'm getting ready to put
come
away
on.
the grilling instruments for the
No, it's not
summer
that
season.
hot yet.
Oh my God, it's going to be in the hundreds this weekend.
That hundreds. Okay, when it's 110, I get it. I'm still grilling.
I don't.
I'll grill. I mean, my wife's had me out there to 117, and I'm not kidding. I have no choice. I might need help. I might need a grown up. I might be abused. I don't know.
Maybe.
No, it's totally my idea because I agree with her. We like it to be cool. Her and I are on the same temperature, 73 degrees, and we don't want to heat up the house. So I take one for the team, and I'll go out into the blazing heat in the back and in the shade for the most part. But I'll do basic grilling during the summer months.
Yeah, I might bake some chicken or hamburgers or something on the grill, but other than that, I have no. I'm not doing ribs. I'm not doing brisket. I'm not doing pork butt, anything like that until it cools off. Like you, if it's above 80 degrees, I don't do the big grilling things.
Now I've smoked a nice cigar on your patio while enjoying your hospitality, and I will say this: that's a good shady patio you got there.
Well, the patio's nice, and since you've been there, we've installed a fan and a TV, and it's a very
I like how you waited until the one time you invite me, and then after that, it all got better.
Jeffco, I think you keep beating this one time you invite me business. I've invited you and Alex to come over. It's an open door policy. You come anytime you want to.
I'm just gonna walk right in.
I think you should. Don't even ring the damn doorbell. Just walk right in. Harris, no one's talking to you.
Yeah, you don't even have the address. You're not going to get one. You keep interrupting.
Sorry, Randy.
Speaking of Harris, Officer Friendly says, I have not seen this mustache from Harris, but if it is as bad as everyone says it is, he should shave that. It would be reasonable suspicion that he's committing a crime.
That's what I'm saying.
To be honest, I had a meeting with Harris earlier today. And I was like, you notice how my hand was over my wallet the entire time? I was just a little bit worried there.
Wow. I think they're all just jealous.
Did your mom give you a list of comebacks and number them for you so you could say these? Because these little they're just jealous. That's something your mom told you to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Can I tell you why I know that?
Yeah.
My mom gave me that line. Well, I was in junior high. I was the new kid here. Actually, when we moved from Oregon to here, and I'm sitting there at Gilbert Junior High, and I'm sitting in a class, and this kid's like, dude, what is up with your feathered hair? Because remember, Oregon. And then I got a haircut the next day.
Yeah.
What's with your feathered hair and that sweater? What do you because it was at least cool, so I could wear the goony looking sweater that I had on from Oregon. This is like 1983 or 4.
I mean, feathered hair was in.
No. It was hockey hair, like Oregon feathered hair, like way too much of it.
I got you.
I'm trying to plug in my computer. I forgot to. But anyway, and so I told my mom, they're giving me a hard time. She says, well, you just tell them they're just jealous. And I did. And I got laughed out of the damn room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening to me.
It's probably the last time he used that line, too.
You're right. And that's the last time I used any line supplied by my mom. Turns out I get my genetics from other parts of the family when it comes to wit. Because I don't know why I listened to her. And I even was so dumb. I was so innocent. I turned and said, my mom says,
oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
That was the worst part.
You were
Not that I just said, you guys are jealous. I said, my mom says.
How old were you?
How old were you?
I think I was
junior
12.
high.
12.
Yeah, junior high.
And you said, my mom said.
I came from a place
I
that
would have
was.
punched you square in the face.
I am lucky I didn't get beat the hell out.
I would have beat you the hell. I mean, you can't say that.
Like within 2 days, I figured it out. I figured out the style. I figured out the mindset. And I was like, that'll never happen again. And I became the meanest son of a bitch at Gilbert Junior High, class of 1983.
Every villain has an origin story.
When I came, I swear to you, the next day when I came back, they didn't recognize me. They didn't even recognize me to pick on me. And then I started making friends and everything was fine. I was like, oh, God.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That was close.
Mom, please don't make me sweaters anymore either.
I still say that comeback sometimes. My mom says.
Yeah, see that just
you can't do that.
I still
not
do it sometimes.
I think it's because
Still
Harris
do
is
it.
so unfortunate. When you see him, you're like, I can't beat him up. I can't do that to this kid.
Unfortunate. I don't know why you say that.
Huh?
I think he's a
Yeah.
good young man. He is a
Whenever I
wonderful
see
young man.
Harris, I think
Randy, you're gonna make me cry.
when
tears
I
of
see
joy.
Harris, I'm like, did he get here through Make a Wish?
I was going to say, he's a
Oh,
Make-A-Wish
man.
kid. Is that what you're saying?
How
I
did
don't know.
Harris? How did Harris get here?
I don't know how you could say that with a nickname like Triple H. Are you kidding me?
You
I
gave
mean,
him the nickname.
I didn't
You
give
gave
him the
him the
nickname.
nickname.
He came in here with the nickname, and he has his own hero song, and I didn't
gave
give it
him
to
the
him. I mean,
hero
this was
song.
his hero song, and then he's got these hot takes. You know, and he's got the music. I mean, listen to this music. I mean, this is badass right here. I think Harris is a hard ass, and I think it's about time somebody says that.
Because nothing like a hard ass to say, you're just jealous.
Well, that's true.
My mom says,
Randy, you're the man. Thank you.
Oh, now he's not the 650-pound.
I never said he was
I just
that.
wanted to make
I
sure.
called him perfectly sized.
There we go.
Randy's got your back, but clearly you don't have his.
You don't have mine.
Not at
all.
all.
All 12
Randy.
feet of it.
Randy,
Yeah.
if you ever said my mom says, and someone's that was a good one.
Mhm.
Someone started making fun of you, I'd protect you.
Harris, stop telling people when they say funny things. We know. You know how we know? Because people laugh. You don't have to keep saying, that's funny. We know it's funny. We're funny people.
I just like giving y'all credit and
We
encouragement.
don't need your encouragement.
Yeah.
We need your fire. We need your spark. We need your hot takes. We need
Hot takes from Triple H.
You want
That's what
one
we
right
need.
now?
We need a hot take.
Give us a hot take, Harris. Do you want to be called Hot Take Harris?
Oh, what's a hot take that I have?
See,
my
you got to be
goodness.
ready, man.
Yeah, no,
You have
I
to
was.
just
not
ready
about
at
the mustache,
drop
please.
of the music, man. Just bang.
All right,
And
here's
you
one.
gotta have
Here's
a
one.
hot take. No,
Here's one.
no, it's too late.
No, I
Hot
have
take,
it.
Harris.
I have
The
it.
minute is already passed.
I think Manu Ginobili is the most underrated player in NBA history.
Nobody cares about. He's so far gone. He's not. When's the last time he
Wow.
played?
Wow.
2019, I think.
Wow. How long did
2021.
it take you to formulate this 8-year-old hot take, Harris?
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
You were just set up perfectly. And you gave us that?
That was pretty bad.
Dude, I know.
That
man.
was really bad.
See, if you put me on the spot, what's a hot take?
Wow.
I'm not so much of a takes guy, like on the spot. If you
What do you
ask me a
mean?
question, I'll contribute.
I had a hot take. I own that hot take, and I got my ass handed to me for a hot take. You want to hear the hot take? The hot take was back in 2018, and I said well, we should lower the baskets for the WNBA so they can
Oh,
dunk,
boy.
and it would be a
Okay.
better product.
Wow.
I stand by that hot take, but oh boy, did I take a beating for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a hot take.
Well, Hefty
No.
Lefty says, "Come
Dang
on,
it.
Harris A. Smith, get it together.
Harris A. Smith.
Harris
Give us
A.
your
With a hot
Harris A.
take.
Smith hot take."
All right, here's one. I think the NFL should buy college football. Yep.
How
I
much
think-
would that cost?
A lot. But I think their ROI would be great. If the NFL came in,
How much is a lot?
if the NFL came in and possessed all of college football as a league, as the FBS, I think they could make serious money off that.
I
And
think this is BS.
you divide it into conferences of 10, no more than 10. Oh man, that would be a great product.
Is
And
that
the
a
NCAA
billion?
would no
Is that-
longer be relevant.
Is that $1 billion? Is that 10 billion? Is that 100
It
billion?
would
How much
probably
cost?
it'd probably end up being billions, but you could get also billions for the media rights deal that they could sign.
So do the players have to still go to class?
Yeah, players would go.
What do you call this thing then? The NFL owns it.
It'd be NCAA.
the college football league,
The
college football.
NFLAA.
the CFL?
The CFL.
Well,
That's
no, you
called the
can't do that
Canadian
because that
Football
Canadian
League.
football league.
No, the hell with the Canadians.
The
Yeah, you're right,
NCF
Randy.
the
Call it
NCF.
CFL.
The N-
Boo, Canadians.
the
We'll get better players
ACFL.
from our CFL than theirs.
You know what?
Canadians.
Let them try to sue us, and we'll
Boo.
take it from them. We're America, Jack.
F
Dang it,
you,
guys put me on
Canada.
the spot.
Well, you could do it.
Oh, we call it the FUC. Oh, FU Canada. No, that's too. No, we can't call it
You
that.
could call it the CFL.
Oh, I know we can
It's not trademarked in the U.S.
because I just said
The-
FU
you mean
Canada.
The FUCL.
FUCL.
I don't think you want to do that.
The FUC.
That's just
Uh,
one letter off.
I don't think you want to do
You can say anything on radio once.
So once. So what is seriously? I'm asking the serious question.
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
much would it legitimately cost? Does anybody have any idea
I bet it'd
what
be.
college football would be
I bet
worth?
it
And
would-
who are you paying these monies to?
I bet it would be $10 billion.
If you buy the college football,
I mean, yeah.
who are you paying the money to buy college football?
It would have to be split amongst all the college.
So the
CFB
NFL
teams.
becomes the NCAA.
So essentially, what you would do is to fund it. It would all be in the media rights deal. So how much would that media rights deal be if you get all of the schools in one operating as one conference? And I'd argue that would be billions,
hundreds of billions.
Yeah,
Hundreds of
tens of billions,
I think
perhaps.
hundreds.
So
I don't know if the NFL is ready to take that on.
I think they could, and I think they do a good
They're
job.
kind of ready to take on their own profits rather than taking that money and throwing that at something else. It just have to show them how. Because remember, it's all a collective of owners. You can't own a college, so you really got to make it. You got to make it make sense to these guys who own their own teams and make their own money.
Yeah, university presidents would have to be involved.
Officer Friendly says, I've pulled some teenagers over and they've used that "my mom says" line. Tell you what, that's a good way to guarantee you get a ticket in my book.
Wow.
If you own up to your mistake, I'm more liable to cut you a break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know
There you
who's
go.
out there saying anything about their mom at those points.
Mhm.
All right, listen, hour one down, hour two to go. We can pick this up when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text both to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BOTH to 42424. That's both to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster? I think so. Is my homework right? I think so. Is this milk still good? I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No, by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from something called the Weekend Warriors.
Sir.
What's that?
Best show on the radio on the weekend.
On this station?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk about that at some point, maybe. Triple H is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And last night, that Pacers OKC game, I watched most of it. And as I'm sitting there watching that, the Pacers were behind by 10 most of the game. And then even more towards the end of the game, they got down by 15 there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm watching this and I'm like, it's like, I know that they've done this before, but I'm like, just doesn't feel like they're going to do this. I even told my wife, I'm like, I guess we could watch something else if you want. I don't think this is going anywhere because there just seemed to be no movement past that 10, 12, 15 point range.
Yeah.
And the Pacers were hustling. They were doing their thing. They were living and dying by that three. They also managed to put up a crap ton of turnovers, 25 turnovers. So I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. She's like, well, there's only 7 minutes left. I'm like, all right, let's hang with it. Let's hang with it. And then all of a sudden, it's just, started to chip away. I'm like, wait a minute. And they were just doing some they were taking shots that I wouldn't take. I wouldn't even think you would take. And they were taking them effortlessly. And I was just like, wow. And then at that very last moment, when they took the lead for the first time in the game with 0.3 seconds left, I was just like, I about jumped out of my chair. That was just incredible. And that's just what the Pacers do, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this team has been doubted like a ton.
I doubted them in the third and fourth quarter. I did.
Yeah, and I picked I told people to bet on Indiana at plus 500. And I said that this series spread at Oklahoma City to win in 5.5 games was a bad spread. I thought this series would go to 6 or 7. So those that did take my advice, you are in a good spot. But Indiana, man, they just do this. They had 19 turnovers in the first half. Who has 19 turnovers in the first half and isn't down by 30? Like Oklahoma City was doing what they wanted in terms of wreaking havoc in the backcourt. And that's what they did. And Indiana, by the way, known as a team who doesn't turn the ball over a lot, and they won the game. Now, you mentioned Jeffrey living and dying by the three. Indiana, 46% from three. Oklahoma City was about
amazing.
I don't have it right in front of me, but in the mid-30s. That was the difference right there. Indiana was able to make tons of threes when it mattered. And they have done this the entire playoffs.
Yeah, I just, it was one of those things as you're watching, you're like, okay, this is just sort of going to drag. But you're missing the point that the way they are hanging in there was a Herculean effort. But, so right there, the Halliburton shot right there at the end, just stunning. It was a stunning comeback and win by the Indiana Pacers. And they only needed to get one in Oklahoma City. They only needed that one. So whatever happens on the next game, I hope they play as hard. I hope they go at them. So now everybody was saying OKC's going to win this. OKC's got this. And what did I ask for? I said, I just hope it's a good series.
Yeah.
In the Pacers, let's see what they got. And boy, they showed you. They showed you what they can do. But with all those turnovers, I'm trying to say, so what can OKC do differently to get back to dominance?
I don't think they need to do anything differently. I think OKC, the first 3 quarters, they were being OKC. This is what they've been doing all playoffs, right? And
yes and no. I mean, they did. They didn't put the gas pedal down as hard as they could because they let Indiana. And I'm not going to. Okay, maybe I'll take that back. They didn't but Indiana hung around like that the entire game. They needed to put some more space between them. They never did.
They were 15 points up at one point.
They were 15 points up in the fourth.
Yeah. Right. So
9 minutes and 42 seconds left.
Right.
That's as far as it went.
And that was the key, right? I felt like at that point they started to go, you know what? We got this. We've been doing this all year. We're just going to cruise. And when they started to cruise, I felt like that's where the game got away.
Well, that's where the Pacers said, well, we also have been doing something all year. We beat Milwaukee this way, Cleveland this way, the Knicks this way.
Dominated on
I felt like the defense.
Go ahead, take your foot off the gas, OKC.
The defense, it felt like OKC stopped playing the defense they were playing the whole game. Because if you look at the way they were playing defense that first 3.5 quarters, they were really good.
Was it rope a dope, Harris? Did they just get tired, or did the Pacers just amp it up?
Here's what I noticed, and I made this conclusion. The Thunder are still going through what I'll call playoff puberty. Playoff puberty is when you have a really young team who knows how to play in the regular
If
season.
anybody knows about going through puberty right now, it's Harris.
Oh.
The minute that word came out of his mouth, I'm like, here we go.
Wow.
I
could hear the mustache coming in when he first started working for us.
I saw all of you guys start to smirk. I saw it in
because we know that Capitan is going to take
I
that
saw
word.
it in Jeffrey's face. Like I could see his chest just pucker up, and it's like his smile.
It wasn't my
just
chest,
gets
kid.
Smile.
It wasn't my chest.
Oh, he just puffed his chest out. I was waiting on the opportunity.
Something else
No,
puckered up.
I'll finish my point to say they're still figuring out how to play in the biggest moment. Them being the youngest team in the NBA showed, right? And we haven't seen that this playoffs. We saw it last year, and we've seen it a little bit this year. That being said, they can still win this series. What does Oklahoma City have to do differently? Not really a lot. Indiana shot 46% from three. Is that sustainable in an entire series basis? I'm going to say I don't think it is. Oklahoma City just needs to do what they've been doing and then also do what they did in the first 3 quarters in the fourth quarter. And honestly, that's it. It's very fixable.
So, they had a whiteout last night, and they also wore white T-shirts. My God, that was a lot of white people in Oklahoma City.
Wow.
If you looked up in the the entire stands, I was just like, isn't there anyone?
Yeah.
No one in Oklahoma City?
Oh, yeah, there is.
It's just it was wall to wall like me. It was my face
say that.
straight across. I mean, come on.
Maybe in Indiana, but not
Indiana is not even as bad as Oklahoma City. That is a bunch of hunkies, bunch of crackers, bunch of white bread mofos.
Bunch of honkies.
Where, in Indiana?
Way more in OKC. Way more.
No, absolutely
way
not.
more.
Absolutely.
No.
I defy you.
I've been there a
not.
lot. Absolutely not.
It's not.
Well, at least in that
I've
stadium.
been there too.
This was fun. And I think he probably wants this. If you're Jay-Z, you know who Jay-Z is, right? That's Beyonce's husband. And he's a billionaire. Right?
Okay.
Is he now?
I don't know.
I
if
know
he
he's
was
a billionaire, but okay.
Look it up.
I mean, I believe you.
And then I think between the two of them, they're definitely billionaires.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that.
But Jay-Z made a bet.
Okay.
Basically as if to say, I don't care about little pedophile guy bets, Drake betting and stuff. He's like, how about this? $1 million. He put down $1 million. And here's the bet. He placed on OKC winning in 5 games.
After last night?
Before last night, of course. I don't think you make that bet after last night.
I would say, and this is my prediction, if OKC comes out this next game and blows out Indiana,
demoralizes
them. It's eye of the tiger, right? They will win 4 in a row.
I don't think see this happening. I think if 6 games, it'll be at least 6 games.
I'm just saying, if we see that next game,
Indiana does get to go home and play. So
I don't think it'll matter.
Here's what makes
it will. It'll be 6 games.
There's more white people.
If OKC is able to win it like that, it'll be in 6 games. I think this thing's going 7.
Here's what makes Indiana so versatile too. They didn't have a single guy on their team that had 20 points. Not one.
Yeah,
it was a complete team effort. And Rick Carlisle, it's not like he's unfamiliar to upsetting teams in the finals. Remember, he was the head coach on that 2011 Mavs
I'm
team.
surprised he had to focus at all because he was like hitting on Doris Burke in the press conference, and all he could think about was Doris. So I was like, wow, is he married? Because I think he's hitting on her right now. I don't blame him. That's my hall pass.
I actually didn't even see.
Doris Burke is your hall pass.
Yeah.
Doris Burke is your hall pass.
Really?
She looked like a freak to me.
Wow.
Hell yeah. That's it. If I find myself in an elevator with Doris Burke, my wife is like,
really?
That's fine.
I'm looking at her right now.
Freak
Really?
to me.
Doris.
She's 60.
And?
I mean, you're almost 60, but still.
You're almost 60er than I am.
Yeah.
You're almost 60.
I don't know, man. Really, that's your hall pass.
Doris Burke, huh? Wow.
You got a small hallway. I mean, I would think your hallway would be different.
Well, that'd be a problem on it.
Oh.
Straight fire.
Wow.
Lost Toby says OKC didn't convert on those turnovers, though, did they? No, they didn't. That is a good point. With all them turnovers, at least that was a thing that helped also protect the Pacers. So All right, you still think OKC though, but you think 6 or 7?
I'm gonna keep my prediction and say Oklahoma City in 7.
I wanted to go 7 because that was fun to watch, and now it's it's even funnier.
Don't you feel
funner,
after
fooner.
after last night, Indiana might be a team of destiny, though?
No.
I just
No?
don't know if what they're doing is sustainable against Oklahoma City.
They came in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. You thought the game was over.
They won.
And
by-
here comes Indiana. Here come the Pacers.
They won by 1 point while shooting 46% from 3. I mean, I saw Andrew Nembhard getting like dribble off front, like platform step backs. And that's when I was like, yeah, it's that kind of day for Indiana, isn't it? And you kind of wonder if Oklahoma City is going to win with that day. And I feel like we got Oklahoma City's B minus game, and we got Indiana's A plus, and Indiana won by 1.
I'll tell you what, OKC's going to have to come out and just like Ralph says, really thump them.
Yeah.
Just come out and dismantle them and give them something to think about when this series goes back to Indianapolis. And then when it's game 3 in Indianapolis, OKC's going to have to come out and do it again.
Yeah. And I think
just put the leather to them.
Yeah.
So Bruno Baller says, well, at least Jeffrey didn't say Doris Roberts. I got news for you. Doris Roberts used to be my hall pass, but she died. That was the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. She was so hot.
What?
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
The mom.
I love
Doris Roberts.
I'm into Doris's because Doris Day I mean she died in 2019. So that was my so first it was Doris Roberts and then she died and then then it was like, ooh, give me some of that Doris Day and then she died. So now I'm like, I thought I'll go younger with Doris Burke.
Doris Day makes some good music.
Although Doris Burke, she might be losing her gig.
I just don't. I'm looking at.
She's losing her gig.
I'm not looking to support her.
Why?
She's losing her gig. How is she losing her gig?
Well, there's rumors and there's word out on the street that she's going to get removed from the ESPN team.
I can see that.
Oh,
because of
Maybe
some of the stuff that's going on with NBC and all the stuff that's moving around. So yeah, she'll be taken off the A squad.
Yeah,
she looks like Kate Gallego.
I think
right. She looks just like Mary Gallego.
Well, no, she dyes her hair.
But I mean, they look like sisters. I'm sitting here looking at this. I can't. Since you've said this, I'm really struggling.
I think ESPN made a big mistake in letting go of Jeff Van Gundy. Like, they made a big mistake. They lost a lot of personality when they let go of Jeff Van Gundy.
Well, that's what ESPN does.
Yeah,
if it's
it is what
stupid,
They pick the wrong
ESPN
people
does it.
to fire, and they're like, we can't afford to have this talent anymore, and then so they fire people and they get rid of shows, and then they're like, by the way, we're buying NFL media. It's like, okay, help me out here, guys.
Yeah.
Help
How
me
much
out
money
here
do you
with
guys
this.
actually have? Yeah, I get it.
Firefarter says, Harris, we all have brains and access to the podcast. No need to tell us how right you were yesterday and on previous shows. We get it. You're right. You Gen Z. No cap.
Wow.
It's sending me.
Wow.
Firefarter, thank you for the lingo there. But I was just saying, man, I told people to bet on the Pacers plus 130 against the Knicks. And I told people to bet on them in this series. And as well against Cleveland. I saw Indiana a lot of upside.
$10
so
says Harris doesn't say that if he gives bad advice.
Oh, okay.
I told you guys to bet $150 on something and you all lost your money. I said that.
Well, I'll give some bad bets. I was wrong on the Nuggets. I thought they were going to win that series.
Why are we only hearing about it now? You
I was
should've said
wrong
it
on the
next
Warriors.
day.
I picked the
You
Nuggets.
didn't.
I picked the Nuggets against the Thunder, and I picked the Warriors. But I'm not going to give myself some flack there. I think that was just going to.
No, you'll definitely won't give yourself.
You're
flack.
not giving yourself
only
flack?
props and flowers. Harris knows how to treat a girl right.
Hey, that's facts.
Fighting Wampa says, how did the Pacers have their A-plus game last night when they had 25 turnovers? It's the rest of the way they played that was A-plus, but you're not wrong about the turnovers.
You might be right, actually. Maybe A-, A.
That way, and that's what OKC's been doing this entire playoff series. They create a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
But last night didn't make a difference. Indianapolis was there. Indy was there, man. The Pacers were there. They kept scoring. They kept coming down the floor. They kept the pressure on. And I think that's the formula to beat OKC. And like I said, I agree with Ralph. They have to come out tomorrow night and thump the Pacers. Is it
Random-
tomorrow night or is it next week? I forget because this is the
Sunday.
NBA. They take a week off in
Is it
between
Sunday?
games, right?
It's on Sunday,
Yeah, it's
They
like
take-
there's
like-
3 days in
They
between
take
games.
2 or 3 weeks
That's
off
ridiculous.
in between games, right?
Yeah, it's on Sunday.
It's like waiting on something from Amazon.
Yeah, snowflakes.
Random texter says Halliburton was Urkel in the first 3 quarters and Stefan in the fourth. Just the tip says how many actual points off those turnovers?
I have a
Not
point
many,
to add.
actually.
Not many. I have a point to add on that.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
he wants to know the actual points, so if you can bring up the box
Yeah,
score. But go ahead.
I
and
can look and see what I can
say
find.
whatever amazing thing you're about to say.
It's crazy to like see how different a moment just like 10 seconds in sports can make you, because all these radio stations and media would be saying, oh, Tyrese Halliburton, he couldn't step up and he played a terrible game and he was needed and he didn't come through. And now it's like, oh my gosh, Tyrese Halliburton, he's the man. This is his FU tour towards everyone that voted him most overrated. Like, he's doubted. It's just crazy how much one moment can change things.
Sharp Cat says, okay, I can't read what you said, but that's not true. That's all I'm
Wow.
going to say. Bruno Baller says the Pacers will take a thumping in the next game, but if they can come back home and win game 3, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They only needed to win the 1 game in OKC. I mean, hell, if they can get 2, great, but they only needed the 1. It's they really need to make sure that they, protect that house. Make sure they win 2 in Indianapolis. And listen, OKC is perfectly capable of beating anybody anywhere. So I wouldn't count on them getting the 2 in a row in Indy when they go back.
So Oklahoma City, this says, had 11 points off of the Pacers' 25 turnovers. So
Woof, that's not
no,
much.
yeah, didn't necessarily capitalize on it.
Now, let's see. Lacrosse guy says, Jeffrey, hopefully for you, the whole Colts team is watching these Pacers games.
I don't
see the connection there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're in the OTAs and actually doing something. I saw the news report. Oh, Anthony Richardson got hurt in practice. And I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Wow.
And then the next story was Michael Pittman Jr. got hurt. And I'm like, that's the one that, oh, God. And then we find out today that it's not serious. So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I think the Anthony Richardson stuff is
Poor
super,
Jeffco.
I know. It's super concerning because you need him out there.
I'm not
because
concerned. I don't care.
Do
He's
you
a
need him out
bust.
there?
He's
He
a
needs to
bust.
develop.
You need him on the bench.
you
He's
need him
not
to
a quarterback
develop.
that needs to be on the field.
Like, he's got a high ceiling and he's only going to develop with rest.
Thank
ceiling is
God
trash.
for Danny
At this
Dimes.
point.
Thank
So,
God for
Danny
Danny
Dimes.
Dimes.
Yeah.
You know
might
what
see a
Danny
lot of him
Dimes is
this
going to
year.
get me? Arch Manning. That's what Danny Dimes is going to get me. You go.
He
You
might.
go with
Oh,
God, Danny
boy.
Dimes.
Yeah.
And I'll see you all
You
at the
go
draft.
with God.
I'll see you at the draft, or I'll see you in hell.
Yes.
Hamilton Porter says, don't worry, Jeffrey. Daniel Jones will lead you to the promised land.
Yes.
To the draft. To the Archie.
He could pull a Sam
To the
Darnold.
Archie.
Look what Sam Darnold did for the Vikings. He could be that same guy.
I don't know.
Anything's
I don't
possible.
know.
No.
Anything's possible,
Anything's
but
possible.
I don't know. I would be.
I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be like, no, we're tanking. Right now, I've decided. I don't care what they say. I've decided. We are tanking.
There's no
I think-
no guarantee Arch Manning comes
Jeffrey,
out next year, number 1.
We're tanking
Let
again.
He still has to
let
prove
this
himself.
be clear. Jeffrey has said Indianapolis that the Colts are tanking.
Yeah, but he says it every year.
He has
Well,
been
it
saying-
does feel like
I
that.
mean, the
yes.
last few years he said that. Yeah.
But I've been right. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
they
right
tanked
about
every year.
Andrew Luck. I was right about Anthony Richardson. And now it's like, okay, let's do this one more time. Let's get this
Yeah.
right.
I
For
don't
Jim.
know.
We're doing this for Jim.
AR's
We're,
a bust.
we're
I don't
tanking
know.
for
I
Jim.
don't know.
For
AR's
Jim
a bust.
Irsay's memory.
This isn't good though. The AR bust thing.
He's a
'cause
bust.
the more injured he gets and the
Ah.
less like reps he can get, the less and less he's going to be able to develop. So I'm not too. I would be really concerned about that if I were Colts fans.
I'm over it. I'm done with Anthony Richardson. I'm over it.
I think a
told
lot
you
of Colts
this.
fans are.
I told you this after the second injury. I'm like, he has no sense.
Right.
This was a bad idea.
Yep, I agree.
And I'm right. So listen, I'm not a boohoo when it comes to my Colts. I'm not a fair weather fan. And by the way, I'm not a fair weather fan about the Diamondbacks or the Suns. What I am is what I like to call realistic. and I call it like I see it. That doesn't mean I'm not a good fan. I'll still go to the game. I'll still support. I'm still pulling for them. But when I see it and it's obvious, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it again. Anthony Richardson is a bust. He has shown me nothing to think otherwise. Hey, I can be wrong. That's a trait that you will never see in a talk show host in anywhere. You know, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Hey, guess I was wrong. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about the Diamondbacks. I was, I was getting kind of sad about that. And I said, oh, this is over. So, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. But in general, I'm just a realist. I call it like I see it. All the things that we've been frustrated about with the Diamondbacks, calling it like I see it. I mean, it's the truth of what we see. And it's the truth of my Colts. Anthony Richardson ain't the guy.
He's not.
Danny Dimes sure as hell isn't either.
Yeah, I think AR can be the guy.
You never know.
That's what I'm saying. I think I always say give a quarterback 3 years. That's what I think it should be. I think AR deserves one more year. And if this year doesn't go well, I think you can make that conclusion.
AR is your typical guy in college that didn't have a lot of experience.
No.
He had a big arm, so it was flashy.
Yeah, massive.
The draft process made him what he was not, right? Which is typical of the draft process.
Yeah, great combine.
They made him this great player.
Yeah.
He gets drafted high by a poor Colts team, and they're learning really quickly. He's got nothing in between the ears.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand the game. No, I really mean
he has
that.
no sense.
He has. Well, that's what I'm saying. He
I
has
don't
no
mean.
sense.
I don't know that I'm going to say he's stupid.
I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm just
Football
when
sense.
it comes to the football
Yeah.
part, he has nothing between the ears because he does all the wrong things.
I think that's where he can learn it.
But I don't think he can. I think he's a waste of time, and you move on.
That's where we disagree.
Hamilton Porter
that and other
says,
things,
false. Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson. Who the hell does Daniel Jones have? Well, I'll tell you who. That new
Warren?
tight end we just got.
Yeah.
Swave Dave says, yeah, Jeffrey, you got that pretty good tight end. Make a difference. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, you can't live and die off of one guy. Pittman, we really needed him. Lacrosse guy says, Randy, will you allow Jeffrey to jump on the Cards bandwagon?
Sure.
I'm not asking.
There's plenty of room on here, but Jeffrey has his own team, and I don't think he's going to jump ship.
Not yet.
And bandwagons are for teams that win. So that's just ridiculous.
That was sort of cruel and
but it's just
unnecessary.
A fact. Who jumps on the bandwagon of a team that loses?
Randy's just taking all kinds of abuse.
Hey, they're going to lose 20 games this year. Let's jump on that.
It's just
I'm
not
on
my
the
day
Cardinal
today,
bandwagon.
is it? Wow.
Randy took a shower, combed his hair, showed up, ready to go, and had no idea what was coming at him.
He did comb his hair.
I'm the only person that hasn't hacked on you, Randy.
I know, Jeffco. It's always me and you in the end, isn't it? It's always me and you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Last Optimist says, listening to
Randy.
ASU shocker, fans, Sam Levitz is going to be the top quarterback taken. Are the Colts taking him or Manning? Okay, there's a lot that kind of fell apart in your text. But if you're talking about, no, I think, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We need to see Arch Manning play as a starter for a while before you really know for sure if he is going to be the man.
And he
of the
might not come
draft.
out this year. He can still stay in.
Yeah, he might make the decision depending on his own play.
These Mannings, they stick around. Like Peyton and his third year at Tennessee was going to be the #1 pick. He came back for his fourth. Eli came back for his fourth. Arch has stuck around at Texas, and he could have transferred anywhere in the country and been a starting quarterback. There's not a single school last year he couldn't have been the starter at. And he stuck around at Texas. These Mannings, everyone is quick to say Arch is going to go this year, and I think he could. I'm not saying he could or couldn't. I'm just saying it's not a done deal.
I really need him to play.
I'm just saying,
Well, I really need this.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not a done deal because these Mannings, they stick around.
Can you do me a favor?
So
Just
Arch
keep that crap to yourself till like next year.
Oh, man.
I got to have something to
I'm
hope
just
for,
saying,
Harris.
man. I'm just saying that he could easily stick around at Texas.
Not a
and try to
Tennessee
win a
Titans
championship.
fan is used to just living in squalor and being the bottom of the barrel. I'm not used to the bottom of the barrel. I need to get out of the barrel, Harris.
You have been in the bottom of the barrel with me for these last 3 years or so. You totally have. Whether you like to admit it, we're
you've
quite
been underneath
similar.
my feet, so I
We're
didn't
quite
notice
similar.
you there.
We are similar. We're similar.
Oh, I just don't ever say that again.
Nice
either.
comparing yourself.
I gotta go. We're so late.
Yeah.
I think I just started my period. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories, not only for him, but for myself. Though when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right. Bruno Baller says, Jeffrey, you are similar to Harris because both you guys are on the blender from 3 to 6 p.m.
Wow. Wow.
That's fair.
That's a fair.
Huh. Swave Dave says, Randy, I don't know
Yes.
exactly where the Cardinals defense wound up in the pack from last season, but I feel confident that they're going to be at least top half now. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we got Josh Sweat from the world champion Super Bowl winning Eagles. We have upgraded the defense quite substantially. I'd like to see us get a little stronger on the offensive line. I know we did get a couple of guys in the draft, and I feel like the Cardinals are a team that are better than they were last year. I think that they're better than the Rams, certainly. And I think that we're going to make some noise this year. Now, Ralph, he's a clairvoyant. I didn't know this about Ralph, but my friend is a clairvoyant. He's got a crystal ball at the house, and he has looked into his crystal ball, and he has come up with the fact that the Cardinals are not going to be good this year. So I kind of wait until the games are played myself. But Ralph, I don't know. You think the Cardinals are just going to absolutely suck this year?
I think they'll be the same that they were last year. I don't see any difference. I mean, you just lost your starting cornerback for the year. That's going to hurt. I think your offensive line is terrible. I think your quarterback's terrible. I think your overrated wide receiver better have a better second year.
Oh my gosh.
You sure your name's not Richard? Kind of being a dick.
I knew that was coming. I'm just saying, those are the facts, right? We talked about this last year. You guys were all high and mighty, and what happened? You still got the same guy running the team. You still got that same quarterback who's weak as heck, and you all know it.
All right. So everything Ralph said, you can just throw into the wastebasket, Randy. But one thing,
except for one thing,
and that's about the quarterback. I've said this year
Yeah.
in and year out. As
Yeah.
long as Kyler Murray is your quarterback, the Cardinals will never get
Well, I mean,
past the 500 or so hump.
I will agree with that. I will say that I believe in this head coach. I did see the team kind of take to him last year and take on a different attitude. No, we didn't win the conference and we didn't go to the Super Bowl, but I feel like this year's. I think this year we win more games. I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. That's just me.
I mean,
hope springs eternal. Every new season. I like to say
I
that,
like
so.
your coach too. I'll give you that. I do like your coach.
He spits a lot.
But I think
Well, he does
when you
spit.
said they're better than the Rams, I think the Rams done such a good job bringing in some young talent. They looked really good last year with those young guys. They're going to be even better this year. I
Yeah.
don't think they're better than the Rams at all. I think that's a farce. And Seattle, you don't know what you're going to get because you know defensively they'll be a top 5 team, but we have no idea what the offense is going to look like. So I can't even talk to them at this point. And the Niners, I'm sure they're going to bounce back off all those injuries, and we'll see how they do.
Can you believe the Steelers actually went through with it? They
I was
actually
shocked.
signed Aaron. I didn't think they were
Yeah,
going
they
to do that.
got him for a whole year.
Yeah, but I was right. Remember what I told you? Everybody's like, well, why is this such a delay? What is this going on? What's going on here? And I told you guys, he's trying to skip the OTAs without looking bad. He doesn't want to do the OTAs. And so he's just going to kind of drag this out. He's already told the team that. He's like, yeah, I'm going to sign with you guys. I don't feel like doing that. And I don't want all the heat I got last time. I didn't do that. If I am the Steelers, I'm kind of, well, you kind of need to do that. But I guess not. So the question is, do we know how much money he's getting yet? Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Does anybody know? I know one thing, it's pending a physical. Steelers are like, yeah, he better be capable. But here's the thing. You pass the physical. That doesn't mean you're in football shape though, does it?
20 million.
Straight up.
20 million.
1 year, 20 million guaranteed.
That's reported. I'm still looking up the details of it, but
that's not bad.
20 million
20
for a
million's-
quarterback
yeah,
is actually that's
not
like
bad.
near low middle.
If
of the
he's
pack.
any part of what Aaron Rodgers used to be, then yeah, that's good.
Well, look at his numbers last year. If he has last year's numbers, he's good. He had a
And
good
for,
year last year.
for Pittsburgh too. Like I think that's a winning organization with a guy who historically knows how to win on a football field. I mean, look, I think that's worth paying him a middle of the pack quarterback salary and giving him a year.
I just don't know how he's going to go with him and Tomlinson. Will be interesting.
They're going to do this every year.
Him and Tomlin will be
yeah.
very,
I just don't-
very interesting.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
I
sure
agree
that
with
could
that.
be. That might not be a good marriage.
Yeah, and the receiving core too at Pittsburgh.
With
Like you got
DK?
DK, but after
What?
DK, it's Robert Woods who's
Mhm.
who's
Who's
older,
old.
and Calvin Austin I think is the third guy, and so
I was going to say what receiving core?
No, but
mhm,
outside of DK,
Fryermuth,
yeah.
You
could
double
be-
DK and then the rest is whatever.
That's
Fryermuth
exactly what
is
happened.
going to be huge for them. Fryermuth is going to be an X factor for sure.
Yeah.
They'll need him to produce.
So next year, since they're going to do 1 year things, and if they have him back next year, it'll be the same thing. He's going to miss OTAs, make it seem like they're we're negotiating right now, and then as soon as it's over, he's like, "Oh, hey, I decided I'm going to play. Okay, everybody." And if I was his teammate, I'd be a little salty about that.
This has got to be his last year. There's no way he plays beyond this year.
Well,
He
he's
probably shouldn't be
four-
playing this year.
I
I
agree
think
with that.
I think he's 4 touchdowns behind what's his face's Favre's record. So I think if he will break that this year, I'm sure. And I think after he has that, I think he'll go away. I think he'll retire.
He might retire the next game. He
He
might
could
break
be.
the record
Yeah.
and walk.
Could be.
Am I the only one here that's kind of like an Aaron Rodgers defender?
Yep.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
I'm the only one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, defend. Let's hear it.
Defend Aaron Rodgers. I just think he gets.
Have you tried the ayahuasca?
No, I've not actually.
Mm.
I just think he gets a lot of hate.
He brings it on himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
I don't know if he does,
unearned
though.
arrogance and jackassery and
the way he treats his teammates and the way he
See, I don't know
he
about
interacts.
that. I don't know about that. What
Did
is
you
he-
not watch the games? Did
What-
you not see on the field? I mean, you don't have to be a body language expert to see when things go wrong, he blames everybody but himself, even when he is absolutely 100% to blame for throwing the pick or throwing the ball 10 yards behind a guy. And then he's always yelling at them and giving them crap. There's plenty of guys in the past, Harris, that have played with him who are like, dude.
Do you have evidence of that?
Of plenty of guys in the
Of players,
yeah,
of
it's out
players
there.
playing with them and saying, "I don't
yeah,
like this
it's
guy."
all over the place.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't like
out
this
there
guy.
in
media.
just Google search
Media
it.
maybe, but what players?
Google search it.
I
Like what
tell you
players?
what, you might see at some point this year DK punch him square in the mouth. I'm dead.
That's one
DK
guy
is
who's
that
not
guy.
gonna listen
Right.
to Aaron Rodgers nonsense.
If he
there.
says the wrong thing to DK will lay him out. He doesn't care.
Just a tip says Aaron Rodgers for 20 million or Purdy for 50 plus. What's the better deal?
Rodgers for 20
Yeah, I don't
is the
think-
better
Yeah, I don't know
value.
that
Is the
Purdy for
better
50.
value. That being said, you'll get more out of Purdy, obviously, but
Maybe.
Rodgers is the
You hope.
better.
Purdy's
More
another
value.
one where he needs a lot of talent around him to look good.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I mean,
someday I'll get that. I mean,
you
don't
could
we
say that
all?
for a lot of quarterbacks.
But
You
Purdy-
could say it for a
but
lot of
he's not. There are
quarterbacks. though.
quarterbacks that make other people great, and then there
Yeah.
are quarterbacks that are great because of the players around them.
Yeah,
That's
there's.
him.
I call it trucks and trailers. Some of them are trucks can pull the trailer, and some of them are
Okay.
trailers that sit behind. The
You know, I don't like
truck.
the way
think
you
Purdy's a trailer.
objectify women with that comment.
I think you could call Purdy a trailer.
Hamilton Porter says, I love how the Steelers Super Bowl odds were plus 4,500 before Aaron Rodgers. And then once they sign him, they become plus 4,500.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them winning the
Oh, but-
Super Bowl, but I see them making the playoffs and being very competitive.
Because of their coach.
Yeah.
Swave
He'll
Dave
play a part,
says,
though.
I'll take Purdy for 50, Alex. Kyle G says, Steelers are going to have. I think my spleen just ruptured reading that. Steelers are going to have a great season, a 9-win season. They've sacrificed the franchise for like a decade just to also have a 500 season.
Yeah, they could. I see what he's. Is he trying to say? I know what he's trying
I
to
have
say.
deciphered it. They've sacrificed, but what have they sacrificed?
Yeah, they've had winning seasons. They put together playoff seasons. I mean, as a Titans fan, or even being a Colts fan, or the last few years, or a Cardinals
Keep my
fan,
team's name out your mouth.
or a Cardinals fan, you'd give a lot to see your team make the playoffs, and Pittsburgh has done that routine.
We used to all the time. I don't even remember now.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says, which is the better GBQB? The toxic guy who gaslights everyone and ghosts people when they're no longer useful to him, or the guy who sends unsolicited weenie pics?
Oh my gosh.
Which is
They're
the
the
better?
same.
Which is the better quarterback? I'm going to
They're
take
the same.
I'm going to take all that out, and I'm going to say on an all-time basis, I would probably take Rodgers' career over Brett Favre's career.
It's
but
the
it's
same
close.
career.
It's close. It is very similar.
Both have
Favre
a Super Bowl. Both have
early on
similar-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Favre threw a lot of picks. I
Favre
think
had
that's
two?
the one difference. Favre had one.
just one.
Well, he lost the second.
Yeah, 96. He won that one. Aaron Rodgers got 2009, I think, against Pittsburgh. So both have one.
Moist one says Sweat can really disrupt the backfield.
He
Been-
can.
He says been itchy all day.
Oh no.
Bruno Baller says the Chargers and the Lions in the Hall of Fame game, July 31st. That's closer than you think. Okay, we do not. We don't think about preseason. We don't think
Yeah.
about
No.
those.
Especially
no.
the Hall of Fame game.
Zero. We may air it here if it benefits me to. I mean, if people want it.
If we get a time off, I mean, yeah.
Only
Yeah,
reason
obvious.
to pay attention to preseason is if you're looking for certain guys to draft in fantasy football.
We're
That can be
definitely looking for
beneficial
those
at
guys
times.
if the time interferes with the show and gives us
Yep.
a night off.
Yep.
You'll definitely be
That's a
looking at
weekend
that.
game. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I haven't
think
seen
it's
the
Usually
Sunday.
preseason is weekend games.
That's a Sunday game.
I believe.
I'll let you
so.
know when we get the contracts. Killer Rabbit says, take the Steelers and the under of wins.
I got to see what their under is at, and I will get back to you. on
Probably
that.
under on 500. Rodgers has been a biatch since he cried about the Niners not drafting him. So F him, says T-licious.
I mean, San Francisco made a crucial mistake and not. I mean, granted, Alex Smith was Alex Smith's a very underrated quarterback on a historic basis, but if San Francisco had Aaron Rodgers, could you imagine how good
They
they
probably would have
been?
won a Super Bowl.
They would have multiple.
Or two.
Yeah, tons. So just saying.
So anyway, that's a thing, but he will not be wearing number 12, I guess.
Will he not? Really?
Do you
Terry
realize-
Bradshaw. Oh
do you
my goodness.
Now they have not
Yeah,
retired
yeah.
that number, but you know that the fan base
the significance
would
that number
burn
has.
down
Yeah.
the stadium.
That's a
Oh,
serious
yeah.
fan base.
Especially when Terry Bradshaw the other week says that guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark and whisper to the gods out there. He's like, he's a joke. So yeah, now I also called this. I said, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers after Terry Bradshaw just said what I just said, guarantee you it's going to be a highly rated interview on Sunday morning when Terry Bradshaw sits down with
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, unless Aaron Rodgers flat refuses. But if I'm the producer of
He
the
could.
Fox Football Morning Show, I'm like, Terry, I don't care. You're doing this interview. You're doing this interview.
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I want to wear a 12 now. I'd ask for it.
You have to ask,
Piss
ask,
off Bradshaw.
ask him in
Could
the
you
interview.
imagine? Could you imagine?
I will only sign if I wear 12.
That fan base would go nuts.
Well, he
Bradshaw
wore,
would
he
Tons of
wore
Super Bowls.
number 8.
Bradshaw would also go nuts.
Didn't he wear number 8?
In New York,
Yes,
yeah,
he wore
he
8.
did.
I think
Yeah.
that you're going to have an easier time getting 8 away from Corliss Waitman, the punter, than you are number 12 from the hearts and minds of all the Steeler fans, like forever.
Yeah, won all those Super Bowls.
All right,
Tons.
listen, must take break. Sound like I was climbing something
Yeah.
there. Must
Yeah.
take break
Yeah. Yeah.
and scratch parts of myself off camera.
Yes.
Oh,
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and to give you a little update here, Diamondbacks up 3-0 over the Cincinnati Reds, and they are doing that in Cincinnati. The worst part, though, about all of this, the saddest, most depressing part of this, they have to be in Ohio to do this. So, may God have mercy on their souls. But Ketel Marte, was that a 3-run homer, or was there more than one home run?
He hit a 2-run shot, and then Perdomo hit one next at bat.
Perdomo, excelente. Hear that, Randy? Diamondbacks up 3-0 over the Reds.
Well, listen, I fully expected the Diamondbacks to win. I called it 162-0, and I fully expect them to beat the Dodgers soundly the next time they play them.
Well, it's good to have expectations.
What are we talking about?
Is it good,
It's good to
Ralph?
have
Do you think that?
I mean, they're wrong all the time, but they're good expectations. It's okay.
I don't know what you mean by this wrong. I mean,
31-31 record. I mean, that's pathetic.
So I'm a little weirded out by something lately. I'm going to share with you guys.
Weirded?
I'm a little weirded out here.
Okay.
Is anybody noticing that just in some of the ways the games have gone in the NBA are super similar to the way the playoffs have gone in the NHL?
I was just going to bring that up.
I beat you to it. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just me. And even so much as, you got, the underdog, or, this, or, it's in this many games, or nobody's winning on their home ice or court. And then blah, blah, blah. There's so many parallels between the hockey and the NBA. And then it's like, so hockey was like, well, we better do this. So the Dallas Stars fired Pete DeBoer after he lost in the final of the conference, mostly because he pulled Jake Edinger. But good God, this is so similar. I mean, not the pulling the player part, but it's so similar. I mean, the Knicks take out Thibodeau, and then the Dallas Stars are like, bye, DeBoer. So it's like weirdly similar how this is going.
That was a bad decision. That was a really bad decision.
Which decision?
Both.
Okay.
I think both were really bad decisions.
I mean, it was a jerk move when Pete DeBoer went on the TV and he's just like, I'm going to tell you what, that's Jake Edinger. He just threw him right under a bus.
Yeah.
Do they have double-decker buses in Canada?
Canada doesn't have buses. They haven't figured out how to use them yet.
Okay. And I know this was Dallas Stars, but everybody's Canadian, so I just was curious. Anyway, so, that was his thing, is he pulled the player, but he also talked crap. So, is that why they fired him? Or is it something else?
No, they're saying they fired him because he hasn't been able to take the team over the hump yet of getting into the finals.
Oh, my gosh.
But he's made that team relevant the last 3 years. I mean, he's done a great job.
Very similar to Thibodeau.
Yeah,
This feast or famine mentality is killing some teams because they don't understand. They assume this absolute of, he can't get over the hump. Therefore we should fire him. You know what Ryan Day was known as one time? You know what Kirby Smart was known as one time?
I know Ryan Day is the Just for Men beer dad. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, all these coaches that I mentioned were known as guys.
Yeah.
They were known as guys who, quote, could not get over the hump. You know what Jim Harbaugh was known as at Michigan? Guess what happened to all these guys? Here's the lie. Here's the lie that's killing people. It's killing, literally, they're killing organizations.
They're
killing
fields.
franchises.
Yes.
Yes. Is they assume that because they haven't gotten over the hump, that they can't. This absolute, right?
Well, it is Friday, so it is sort of
as you saw. It is going over the hump. That's right, Randy. Yep.
Yeah.
But you've seen Ryan Day and with Jim Harbaugh, with Kirby Smart, with all these other guys. I could keep going. Nick Saban for a while. You could keep going, and all these guys were eventually at that point in time, but they stayed patient in them, and then eventually they got over the hump. I think the Stars and Knicks should take notes.
It's a record number of humps.
All these guys were humped then.
You got humped.
Sure, Randy. If that's what you want. If that's what you want my point to be.
I didn't want your point to be. I'm just trying to figure out your point.
I really don't get the Knicks getting rid of him.
The Knicks
that one made no sense either.
No sense.
I thought they had a plan in getting rid of him, but they've apparently they want to talk to Jason Kidd now. That's a thing.
I know. I just saw that. Well, I was actually going to break that news, but thanks, Harris. I was going to tell you this just in. The Knicks are okay with wife beaters.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, aren't we all, though?
What? Dude, I know that. I know that's a joke because I've met your wife.
Yeah,
and
she
would
beats me.
bend you. She's a wife that beats.
Yeah, she's a wife beater. She beats me.
So the Knicks are they're like, hey, can we talk to Jason Kidd? Do you think they're going to let Jason Kidd talk to them?
Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, what's the motive? What's in it for them?
Well, here's the
Why they
thing.
let
I'm
Jason
just
Kidd
reading
talk
out.
to
They haven't even asked permission yet. They've just sort of said, yeah, we might like to talk to Jason Kidd.
Yeah. It is I
Nico
guess they wanted to talk
Harrison.
to him.
You need to button your stuff down, man.
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
can't risk even more.
Well, yeah, what's in it for Dallas to let him talk? Maybe they try to get the Knicks to make a trade or something. You can still, some teams trade for coaches sometimes. It can happen. I thought Ime Udoka may be their best candidate, but why would Houston ever get rid of him?
Right, and why would he leave Houston?
Why would he leave Houston? Yeah, so the Knicks just
you
put
may
themselves-
want, you can ask, but I don't mean you're going to get.
I have a question.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is for you guys.
He's not asking you for permission, Harris.
These are for the Phoenix guys.
Okay.
What did you guys think about
Harris?
the
She's not asking you.
What do you guys think about the Suns hiring Jordan Ott?
Well, what do you think of that, Harris?
I'm really trying. I haven't heard what you guys. I'm sure you guys have talked about it, but I haven't heard what you guys had to say about it. So I was just curious. Because I'm looking at this going, who?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Who? And then I was told, and I still don't. I don't know. I don't know. Basically, people are thinking, and this is simplistic thinking, so I don't know if this is true. It's just that Ishbia wants a yes man, and Ishbia is going to be more meddling than he was before. We thought it was going the other way, but then he moves James Jones over to a lesser position or just out of the way. Puts in a GM he wants. Now they've got this coach who has Michigan State ties. And so I can't. I mean, Devin Booker says I signed off on it. Why? What?
Because you had no choice.
What was it that got signed off on? What was it about Ott that made Devin Booker go, sounds good to me? Like, or did Ishbia say, you can tell him what to do? I mean, why did Ott happen?
The whole Suns thing, and them hiring Ott, I just don't know.
I kind of like to just
I don't know.
pretend like it didn't happen and not ever talk about it.
Like, I just don't know. I don't know, because here's what I can see is they're switching up their approach, because they've gone with Monty, Vogel, Budenholzer, three guys who have taken teams to championships and won them. So they've switched their approach from these known sort of figurehead approach, you could say, of these guys are known figures in the sport. They've won championships. They know how it's done. And now they're going to a low-key guy who maybe they could relate to the players more. And I don't know. So it seems they're switching their approach.
I mean, I'm looking it up here on why the Suns hired this Jordan Ott.
Yeah.
And they feel like he's very smart. They feel like he's got great offensive and defensive philosophies, that he's a good teacher of the game, a strong innovator, and he's a development kind of guy in the film room. He's a guy that can study a lot of
film.
He can study a lot of film and develop game plans.
Don't open the door when he's in there. He's
that's true.
developing film.
It's a dark room, and you don't want to ruin the negatives. But he's very strong.
Don't be negative
in developing. What am I thinking of? Strategies against other teams. When he watches film on other teams, he can teach the team how to work against another team from the film room. So I think that the fact that he's younger. I think that they like him that he's younger, probably can relate to guys easily. He's been in the league for a while. He's one of the up and comers in the league. So I feel like they took Jordan Ott based upon what they've heard about him, and I'm sure in the interview process they felt like this guy really kind of fits what the direction the Suns want to go.
So I've taken in everything each one of you has said, and my conclusion, I should say, is it's probably what Jeffrey said. It's probably that they wanted somebody that they can control.
Got a yes man for Ishbia.
Wow,
that's what I'm thinking.
A yes man for Devin Booker.
I mean, he couldn't even win he was up for the Charlotte job last year and he got looked over. I mean, I don't think this is a great hire. This is a young guy that they can tell to do whatever they want. And I think Ishbia is going to start getting way more involved than he's been. And I think that's a huge mistake for the Suns.
So they just went out and got some young guy.
Not to discount what you said, Randy. I get it, but I just think Ishbia has an agenda.
I think you just discounted everything I said.
Okay.
I feel like something just got discounted.
Not to discount it, but I did.
You just did the discount double check on me, didn't you, Ralph?
I knew you were an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Thank you.
Hamilton Porter says Ryan Day is a whiny biatch that can't beat Michigan.
Wow.
Swave Dave says, be back 3-0, bottom of the third.
Yeah, we know.
Be back.
Don't know, man.
The D-backs.
Sometimes people's typing. Yeah. D-backs actually now 3-2. The Reds have put a couple runs together here.
Damn it.
Not quite sure how. I don't have the screen up, but I believe them. Moist One says the Stars saw DeBuer panic and pull Uttinger, their star goalie after 7 minutes. And because of the panic move, he lost the respect of the players. He lost the locker room.
I don't know about
backup hadn't played in a month. They knew the game was over after that.
Don't know about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure about
I don't know if the lost respect to the players. I don't know if you have any evidence of that, Moist One, but maybe it wasn't a good move by him to pull him. But
if he would have pulled him and the guy would have been a superstar from that point on, then it's a great move, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a good look. Let's put it
always
that way.
looks like a genius. Anyone can be a genius in hindsight.
I just got to say about DeBoer, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I hate it when my teachers always told me that.
Wow.
Yeah. Told you that a lot, did they?
Wow. Why did you say
Here and
that?
there.
Hey,
Here and
everybody,
there.
we hired a good one. Listen, 2 hours are down. We got 1 to go. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. Maybe football. It's the Daily Blender. You're on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from the Weekend Warriors with us. We got Harris Hicks in the control room. And we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Against the Spread is up first, says Triple H. I hope you took my advice. You took the Pacers on the money line for game one, paid out at plus 400. Like I said to you, like them in the series, might as well take them in game one. Did you?
Actually, I did not take him game one. I did take him for the series. And if you were listening Against the Spread, I've been very vocal about taking the Pacers against the Thunder and against the Knicks.
Frank Vogel?
Not quite. At least I have a job. I'll say
vocal.
that.
I think you meant say vocal.
Vocal.
Not Vogel.
Yeah.
That wasn't very
Even
nice.
worse,
I'm
with
sorry.
Vogon, if you're
I'm
going
sorry,
to recite
Frank
really
Vogel.
bad poetry.
I shouldn't have said
Don't
that.
be
to
sorry.
you,
He
Frank
has plenty of
Vogel. I'm
money.
sorry.
You know, Frank is a
It wasn't
long-time
nice.
listener to the show.
I
And
thought
so
Frank. I thought Frank was dealt dirty in Phoenix.
You
I'll say that.
probably pissed him right off. Boy,
Dang
you've
it,
really
man.
been making some enemies today.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
a
have,
long
man.
list of people that Harris is just completely just I don't know, disrespected.
Yeah. Boy.
I'm working on it, guys. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But anyway, yes, I did take the Pacers. And Against the Spread, we were on the same wavelength.
Against the Spread also says the Diamondbacks played better since I told you guys to keep the faith. They are around 3 out of the wild card right now. The Snakes don't give up on games. Yes, Against the Spread. And earlier I did say credit to you for talking me off the ledge when I started to doubt. But listen, the reality of what this team is still remains. I'm not being less of a fan or less than faithful or hopeful. It's just the reality is we got pitching problems, and they didn't get better when Corbin Burns has to go get Tommy Johns. We still have the issue with the pitching coach. We still have the issues with the bullpen. There's nothing that has been said on this show that is not currently still a problem. So great if you can put these wins together, but it doesn't mean we're saved or solved.
I will say this about the Diamondbacks. They have brought up some young talent. They brought up Christian Mena, who was absolutely lights out when he was up with the big team last time. And I think this is very promising. Also, we've got some back end of the rotation guys that are getting healthy. And I think this team has some real hope in their bullpen. The thing that I'm worried about is can Kaplan do something? Can they work with Kaplan, and can Kaplan work with them? And can we start heading in the right direction with this bullpen? And for God's sakes, can we get somebody in there that knows how to manage the team and use the bullpen correctly? Because Torrey is just killing us by fiddle farting around with all kinds of this changes that he does with these guys at the back end of the rotation.
Let me ask you about the last pitching coach. Was he fired or did he go off to do something else?
He was fired, and
how do you do that?
And they did that because there was a difference of philosophy. And Brett Strom is a guy. He's like a 50-year baseball man. He's been in the baseball for many years, much longer than both Hazen and Lovello. And for them to disrespect him that way, at least they should have said, look, we don't want to fire you. We want to part ways with you. We don't agree with your philosophy. That's one way to do it respectfully, not make a big deal of it. But they fired him, and it was over a difference of philosophy. Maybe these young guys in the front office should listen to a guy that's been doing this for a few years, has much more wisdom than they have, and maybe they'll be a little more successful, especially when you have a lineup with Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen in it. You can have Brett Brandon Pfaadt is going to be a wonderful pitcher who is probably worn out from having to carry this team the way he's done. Just had a bad outing against Atlanta. So you hope that he recovers and comes back with a good game. And then how are you going to fill the spot that Corbin Burns is leaving? How are you going to leave that spot?
I don't know if he even can.
Ryan Nelson's probably going to pick that spot.
I mean, it's going to be Ryan Nelson. So now the Diamondbacks need to start making moves to look for another starter. Maybe you pick somebody off of the White Sox, somebody, that's struggling already. Maybe you go to the Rockies and you see what kind of pitching they have that might fit your need and bring them to Phoenix, which, could fit into this rotation and help you out down the stretch. I mean, now's the time to make the move. You can't wait.
Moist One says Strom taught Garrett Cole about spider tack. By the way, he just says, I got to be nice. I got to be nice. I got to be nice. Why were you saying that, Moist One? Against the Spread said the expansion of the wild card format helps teams like the Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams can win their division, but they can work their way into the NLCS.
True. The Diamondbacks were one of the biggest winners of that expansion. I will give a positive. Fangraphs, tracking playoff percentages, chances of making it. Diamondbacks were at 28% a week ago. They're now at 39%. So it's not like there's a 0% chance. I also want to give Against the Spread some credit too, because baseball, you can't rush to conclusions in baseball. And last year we should have learned that when the Diamondbacks had, what was it, that July of last year when they were just absolutely unstoppable. Like they went on that tear and they were struggling for a lot of the year. And so, hey, anything can happen.
Did they miss the playoffs last year?
They did miss the playoffs, but they were
One game.
close.
By
They won
one game.
88 games. They were close.
I
A
was
lot,
checking. I wasn't sure.
a lot of people were saying
But
they
the
were
year
out of it.
before, but the year before, didn't they sweep the Dodgers? I think they did.
Did
The year
they?
before,
Oh, let's
when
go,
they went
Randy.
to the
Yes!
World
Was that the year
Championship,
before?
Yes,
they went to the World
I don't
Series.
know,
I
Randy,
believe.
because we were too busy hoisting a trophy again last year.
Oh,
it's
I mean,
here's the
but
thing,
the
he
year
knows.
before that, didn't you guys lose in four
But
straight?
did you
to
hoist
us?
a trophy?
Or
Or did you just
don't-
have back?
I
What
do
happened?
remember us winning the National League.
Oh, so you got a pennant.
Yeah, we
So you put a
won the
flaggy
National
up?
League pennant.
But that's
yeah.
cute that you put a
Mhm.
flag up. I think that's cute.
Oh, well,
At
we
least-
have a trophy. I mean,
What do you?
it's not like we
the
don't
one you
have a
paid for in
championship.
2001. Yeah.
The Diamondbacks
Oh,
World Series was
What
beating.
we
you would-
paid for. That's
you would
rich.
know. You would know about that, having spent almost $1 billion
Oh,
on
yeah.
your lineup.
Yeah.
1.1
I know we
billion.
didn't
Let's
spend
get it
a
right.
billion.
All right.
Let's get it
All right.
right. 1.1.
I mean,
Take that,
I
Ralph.
can
Donnie
go
has
with
a
you
bet.
here, Ralph.
Yeah.
I could go with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Donnie has a
I'll be
bet.
Randy's hype man.
Donnie says Sam Bennett anytime goal at plus 230 tonight.
Sam Bennett.
Donnie texted that.
That's going to be a great game tonight.
I don't know.
Isn't
enough to
isn't
bet
he
on
the guy
hockey.
that's
I
saying
wish
I
could.
left my heart in San Francisco?
Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony's son.
Hey, Harris,
Hey, Jeffrey.
Uranus looks different.
Oh, my gosh.
Uranus.
Yeah,
The planet.
planet, yeah.
They're saying
Yeah.
it looks
Oh.
different than it did 20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, really?
Yeah. People who study it say the structure has changed. It's gotten paler. Uranus is paler
Mm.
and different.
Must have got bleached.
According to the study, they said the southern polar region of the planet got darker in winter shadow,
Wow.
and the north polar region brightened as it moved in more direct view.
As
So,
it should. I mean,
Everybody take a look at Uranus.
yeah.
It's always brighter on the
There's the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's hydrogen and helium
Mm.
with small amounts of methane. You expect a lot of methane from Uranus.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Traces of water and ammonia.
That's why there's dude wipes.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
So-
sure. Yeah.
But I know you're a planet watcher, so I just wanted to talk about Uranus.
Oh, I appreciate that,
He's a
Jeffrey.
planet watcher.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
he
intrigued.
likes Uranuses.
Hmm.
I'm intrigued
Uh,
that stuff.
so
More of a
can we,
Pluto guy,
I
though.
was trying to talk about football, by the way.
Mm.
Remember that part when I was trying to talk about football, and
I
all of a
don't-
sudden everybody starts talking about
You didn't talk. You did try.
baseball. I did try.
What- I didn't hear it.
Hmm.
I did. I said I want to talk football.
That was at the last.
Well,
break.
let's talk football then, Jeffco.
You sure?
Yeah, let's talk football.
Okay.
You sure?
Well, I saw a
Let's talk football, Jeffco.
I saw something for the Bears that just made me scratch my head.
Mm.
The coach, Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
from Ben Johnson's Big Apple.
Right.
Ben Johnson, he's like, hey, let me tell you something. We always did this when I was on the Lions, and I'll tell you what. Let's do that now. He says, I talked to the offensive linemen, and I let those guys know we only do this once a year. It's evaluation, and then we'll circle back in training camp, and we'll see who can we trust to catch a ball or throw a ball in a trick play.
I
think, hey, Ben, maybe don't tell everyone that. Maybe don't go in front of a microphone and say, hey, we're practicing trick plays with the offensive linemen. If they're going to expect it.
Well,
you just blew your trick play.
I actually think this is smart because
now they're all going to expect the trick play and be like,
exactly. So that frees other things up. You know, if you've got these linebackers thinking trick play, Ben Johnson's a genius.
He's on the Bears
He's smart.
now.
Is he?
Ben Johnson is playing chess, and the rest of us are playing checkers.
We'll
well
see.
said, Brandy.
We'll have to see. I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I think Ben Johnson was so.
He was a heck of an
responsible.
offensive coordinator. It stops there right now.
Well, so as a head coach, if I were a head coach, and as a head coach, Randy, you play the part of the reporter.
Okay.
As a head coach, you only have to answer their questions, right?
All right.
So ask me any question. Let's say like I'm Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Ask me about my team or the trick play thing, all that.
I want to ask you about your Uranus.
No.
Does your northern pole is it brighter?
No.
On Uranus?
Ask me any other question. Go ahead.
Okay. What about trick plays? Do you have any? Are you going to use any of the big will there be any?
No.
Are you going to cut any oranges and bring?
So you see what I'm doing there?
Can we have a juice box?
I'll say no to everything, and I'll say to the NFL, you just told me I had to answer the questions. I had to submit myself to media and answer questions, and I'm doing that right now. No. You didn't tell me I had to be honest. You didn't tell me I had to expand on what I'm saying. Oh, you want me to be honest? I have to be honest? Okay. Ask me the questions. Yes. No. Maybe. And then I'll be more of a nightmare than Belichick. You're never going to learn my plays.
Wow.
Especially if I'm a genius. If Ben Johnson is truly a genius,
we'll see.
You're not sharing any of your information.
I think it's a genius.
Thank you, Randy.
I
agree with you. I think the Bears are a very possible breakout candidate this year to get really
I think
good.
it's about time.
Ooh, last year they had a
been
rookie quarterback.
It's about time that I have been recognized as the journalist on this show.
You asked the questions
taken
really
a
nicely,
damn
Randy.
long time. Thank you.
It was very well done.
Thank you.
Randy would be a fantastic journalist.
I'll get you
Thank
that
you.
Pulitzer Prize.
Thank you.
Let's see. The Donnie
Anytime, Randy.
says the Bears will still finish last in the division this year.
I don't think they will. They've got
No.
the greatest quarterback to ever come out of USC. In what the hell's his name again?
Oh, Caleb
that's
Williams.
A crazy,
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's a wild take.
Look,
You
the
think that?
The Bears have done all the right things in the offseason.
You think Caleb Williams
We'll
is the
see.
greatest
They have
quarterback
been
ever
doing
come
it
out of
that way
USC?
for a while. They were drafting well, and they were piling up picks and making
But that,
moves.
that offensive line, they've made all the right moves.
That's over like the last 5 years, but
Yeah.
nothing has translated to the
But
field,
now,
unfortunately.
But now they have a line to protect that quarterback, so we'll see what happens.
Randy, you said
Yes.
that Caleb Williams was the greatest quarterback to ever come out of USC.
I don't remember.
No way.
Triple H.
Who's the greatest?
No way.
Triple H.
Got to be Leinart.
Oh
Triple
my
H.
gosh, dude, are you serious?
His resume at USC
might have been
is
great there,
fantastic.
but
Or
he's a
Carson
bust the
Palmer.
minute he walked off
Leinart or
the,
Carson. I'm not talking about the
draft
NFL.
stage.
I'm talking about college. He was
Triple H.
We're not talking
phenomenal
about
in
college
college.
right now. We're talking NFL.
Hey,
Well, I
Harris,
was listening to what Randy said.
Harris.
That's a pretty crazy take.
Some of these will be jokes.
Yeah, Harris, we got to get the upgrade so you understand sarcasm.
I don't know if there is. an upgrade for
Caleb
that.
Williams has more potential coming out of college than that.
Okay, that's true. Caleb Williams is most likely going to have a better NFL career than Matt Leinart. But in college, Caleb Williams was going 10-3 and then 8-4.
Because he had no offensive
Let me
line.
tell you.
Sure, yeah,
No,
offensive line.
Leinart. The only people who are, more disappointed than Cardinal fans and Matt Leinart would be your prom date, Harris, on
Yeah,
prom
yeah.
night. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only. That's the only disappointment that is greater than
What
what the
does my
Cardinals
prom
felt.
date have to do with any of this?
Wow.
Did you know that there is a Facebook group on dating Harris, and it's not flattering. You probably should stay off Facebook.
There might not be many people on that.
I mean, I did start it.
I started. You started.
I did start it.
Jeffrey started.
But boy,
Jeffrey started.
I want to see the profile picture.
The girls have come crawling out of the woodwork to complain about you.
Toothless and everything.
Oh my gosh.
You're more like the fourth dimension than I realized.
Who's the 5 o'clock
realized.
shadow? King Kitten says the 5 o'clock shadow says Pat Hayden was USC's greatest quarterback.
The 5 o'clock shadow.
Pat Hayden was a heck of a quarterback coming out of college.
He's the AD. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
King Kitten says, I used to be a pest control technician, used to service Jason Kidd's house in Scottsdale. His wife wouldn't let me in the house. She didn't want you to see the bruises, probably. I'll be honest. We get pest control at my house, and I don't let them inside.
No?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, if they can kill everything in the perimeter, there ain't nothing inside. We're good.
Oh.
Not even the garage inside?
No.
Really?
I actually, I
Where
don't
you
know.
live? I think I would.
I've got no bugs.
You got scorpions in your area.
We use responsible pest control, and they take care of the. I think they go scorched earth so much that nothing survives to come in.
Watch Jeffrey
every
come
now and
back
then
on
we
Monday.
see it like every 3 years we'll see a sickly scorpion like on crutches just going across the floor
On
like
crutches.
kill me, and I oblige with my flip flop. Pow! You know,
But never in the house.
no, there's never in the house.
That's
No.
good.
No.
Against the spread says Ralph.
Yes.
Everyone loves your fantastic personality. It must be nice to be a front runner during football season. Do you wear the hat of which team is doing better in the NFC West
Wow.
when the Rams and the Seahawks play? Do you wear both jerseys? By the way, the reason the Weekend Warriors ratings have gone up is because the United States government broadcast your show at Guantanamo Bay to extract intelligence from terrorists.
Oh, that's funny.
It's really thoughtfully put together. I
That
have
was
to admit.
really
And
thoughtful.
true.
That's very creative.
True.
All right, so here's what happens is usually at the end of the show, I'll realize I probably should have plugged the Weekend Warriors.
You just did.
And well, now I'm going to give you your opportunity to tell us what spectacular things everyone has in store for them if they're going to listen to what was the show called again?
Are we done talking football?
No.
No.
I had some points.
You
on
can
the
turn the
Bears.
music down though, because we're just going to talk about his dumb show real fast.
Oh, okay.
I was going
Well,
to talk about.
sorry.
I was going
Okay.
to talk about the Bears.
So Ralph,
him
tell
time.
us what's
Here's Ralph's
what's
new
about to
Weekend
happen
Warrior show.
on the Weekend Warriors tomorrow at
Well, we're not playing
What
banjo
time?
for sure. I mean,
what time's the show on?
10 to noon every
AM?
Saturday.
AM?
AM.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
10 a.m. on Saturday.
You get up early.
The Weekend Warriors. What are you talking about? What are you doing?
Look, it's
who are your guests?
Here's the deal, right? It's Phil, Filthy Phil, of course.
Yeah.
And his
and that guy named
his
Jeremy.
speeches.
What's his name?
and then
Nigel.
our
It's Nigel.
Nigel the Shriner
That's
kid.
it.
Love a
Nigel.
good filthy Phil monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Filthy Phil and Neil. Neil to bring in the culture of everything.
You guys call him Filthy Phil. I call him Phil the
I
Thrill.
like how Harris says, I like a Phil monologue. Isn't that just like everything Phil says is a monologue? Just
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. One of these days we'll have Harris and Phil on the same show and we'll never
Oh,
get a
dear
word
God.
in.
You won't
edgewise.
get a word in edgewise.
I've never been on your show.
You've never come on and
You've
you've
never invited me.
because I know you'd say no. 'cause
There
you
was, I think there was one time, and I was waiting for somebody to dial me up, and nobody ever did.
that was at the Super Bowl.
Was
Yeah.
it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't want to come out and be part of it with us. So
Not really.
but Randy's been on my show and he's talked some NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know, so I've had Randy on and you know, we'll eventually have you know
The bruises are
the
just
stash
now
will be on.
healing. Yeah.
Stash will be there one day.
Stash will be
You're
there.
gonna call
The
him a
mustache
stash.
will be
and
there.
he'll still be there.
But you're going to get riveting conversation and riveting discussion from Phil and myself, and then Neil throws in his 2 cents, which is usually interesting.
I sleep in on
Yeah,
Saturdays.
yeah,
so
I know. But you
don't
should
know
come
if
on
I
our
can-
show. Tomorrow, I'm sure we're going to hit on some of these firings.
Who got fired?
Who got fired?
I know Michelle
Who
Beadle
didn't
did.
get fired?
We didn't get
Well,
fired. We'll probably talk Thibodeau. We'll probably talk
Michelle
De
Beadle
Beers.
got fired.
Oh yeah, from the Sirius XM show. So what happened was Stephen A. Smith is like, I need more to do because I feel like I don't yell enough, and so they gave him a Sirius XM show, and then they're like, well, where are we going to put this Sirius XM show? And so Stephen A. Smith says, well, just give me Michelle Beadle show. And so they did it. And she found out about it in the media and not from the bosses. They hadn't told her yet. And so she like on air was like, here's what she said. And she says, well, that's a little embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. I've been in this business for 20 plus years. I've been treated poorly a couple of times. Well, this didn't feel good. I'm not going to lie. And she says, all I asked is be treated with respect. So they fired her. They were probably going to move her to some other time slot or something. But then I don't feel bad for her because she's the one who dropped the N-word. When she was trying to say nuggets, but she said something else just a bit too comfortably, if you know what I mean. And everybody's like, whoa. She says, don't try to get me on that. Yeah, well, you got yourself. Yeah, it's done and over with there. FanDuel's like, oh, bye-bye. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was her only job, but her and Cody Decker fired from Sirius XM. And it was because of the way they reacted on air. I don't blame her.
Yeah. How did she? So she found out about it on air.
She found out about it from the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh my gosh.
She says,
wow.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, it was. But, you know, she shouldn't have said nothing. She should have kept it to herself. Maybe she'd still have a job.
Well, she lost her job.
You had no.
Stephen A. took.
They lost the time slot, but that doesn't mean they were going to fire them. It was after her on-air reaction they got fired. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But now she gave them a reason, and we'll never know.
That's a tough spot. I mean, I don't blame Michelle Beadle, but in hindsight, yeah, probably would have been easier to say nothing there because you probably would have had the job. But like, who am I to criticize that? Because if I were in that spot, I would be really bad. So.
When we fire you next week, I mean, when we do eventually have to fire you, at some point, if we fire you,
you weren't going to say that.
Did something get out?
You won't know about it until
pulling
after.
Are you pulling a Michelle Beadle?
You will not have a microphone after that. That's the way it's supposed to be. They just yank you out of your chair and throw you into the parking lot.
A giant hook will come through the window and get you.
Pull
you through the window
like that.
Get me through. Well, I can hang on to the hook. And then when you guys try to reel it in, I'll be reeled back in through the window. And it's like, oh my gosh, we can't get rid of this guy.
We'll just shut the power off.
So anyway, thanks for plugging the show. I appreciate that.
Oh, right. Yeah. We're talking about, we went from talking about firing
I
Harris
appreciate it. That's what we're really talking about.
The
join us tomorrow and
subliminally racist Michelle Beadle.
Wow.
I forget. You didn't tell me. What are you talking about?
It doesn't
tomorrow?
matter because it just doesn't matter. Just go find us on. We'll be
Oh,
on,
don't be.
Here's the difference. No, I'm not doing. So here's the difference, right? We'll be on X. We'll be on 1580 AM.
You don't know what you're talking
we'll
about
be
tomorrow,
on
do you?
Facebook.
You have no idea. He has prepared nothing for
And we're
tomorrow.
going to be talking about Adam Sandler and what he's going to be doing for Derrick Henry.
What are you talking about?
You don't know about that?
No.
Adam Sandler and
Watch our show
Derrick
tomorrow.
Henry?
You'll learn about it.
All I know is I don't want anything to do with Adam Sandler because Adam Sandler keeps redoing all the movies that were great and then making garbage. And this whole new Happy Gilmore 2 thing is a travesty. I don't ever want to see it, ever.
He's offered, that probably never make it. He's offered Derrick Henry a spot in a film if he gets 2,000 yards this year. You ever heard about that?
Really?
That's real, yes.
I have not heard of that. That's
I
a
feel
legit
like
thing?
that should be his motivation to be in a crap movie with Rob Schneider and David Spade.
I don't think not all of them are crap.
You know?
No, I'm just saying.
Name a good one lately.
Grown-ups.
Lately.
Oh, lately. Oh, yeah. Okay, lately.
The basketball movie was pretty interesting. You see that one?
I thought Uncut Gems. Kevin Garnett.
There's two of them. There was Uncut Gem.
That was good.
Which was pretty good. It was more of a serious role. And then the one where he played a coach.
He was doing pickup.
Oh, yeah. That one was pretty good, too. Yeah. Both of them were
He's a
pretty
big
solid.
basketball guy, so,
He is.
But anyway, so, join us tomorrow from 10 to noon, and you'll learn a lot.
That's the show. 2 hours. You're talking about Adam Sandler?
That's it. That's all we're talking about.
I went late for this.
You went late for this. But you know what? It's worth every minute of it. I'm just saying.
I hope you figure out other things to
be honest with you.
You have no idea.
I put the
you have no idea.
Tonight I put it together. Actually, it's funny. As we're in the show right now, Neil and Phil are throwing agenda items at me as we're talking.
I just figured you went home and you lay in the couch and your wife sits down and starts to kind of like just pet your hair and she tells you what to talk about.
But I will say this. We're on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We live stream and we're on 1580 The Fanatic. So
we're working on it.
I know you guys will be there too, but we're all over the place.
We're working on it.
Slowly but surely.
All right. So in case you care, and even if you don't, it's a what's the show called?
Weekend Warriors.
Weekend Warriors. Saturday morning, I think it's 10.
And we're up against a break right now, so let's go ahead and take that.
I do what I want.
It's a blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
You don't call it.
Ralph, don't say it. You're going to make me actually press the
Yeah, I
button.
know.
But Jeffrey's going to get mad at me. Jeffrey's going to get mad
If
at
you
me.
would have done it, that would have been phenomenal.
I almost did it.
I know. I saw
Almost
you go to
did.
reach for it.
Yeah, I got close. I got close.
I'll handle this. It's the Daily Blender here on. You sure that's all you're going to talk about? Is
1580 the Fanatic?
No, he's still not
No,
going to do it.
stop it. No.
1580 the Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
When you need help, 211 Arizona is just one call or click away. This free service connects you with vital resources across Arizona. Housing and shelter resources that improve or save lives, utility assistance, food support, heat relief, and more. Speak with one of our live operators in English or Spanish. Simply call 211 or visit 211arizona.org for resources near you. We're here to help in your time of need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
The Rich Eisen Show.
We all know the Pacers made the NBA Finals, and I want to give them their due. They've got a terrific player in Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, this is a team that has had Miles Turner around for a very long time, and then they just added pieces. Pascal Siakam's a hell of a piece. Nembhard, Neesmith, TJ McConnell. This is why you watch basketball.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Well, I guess Missouri loves the company of the Chiefs, and the Missouri State Senate has passed a plan to keep the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. So,
wow, they're going to build a new stadium there, are they?
No, it's
the opposite.
Yeah, they're going to renovate. Right? They're going to renovate.
Well, I mean, as far
I
as
thought
what it
the
said,
They're going to
just
keep them at
staying
Arrowhead Stadium.
there. They're just staying there.
That
I
says
thought the owner wanted a new stadium. He doesn't. Is that what I'm understanding here?
I think they just wanted the stadium renovated at county or state costs. So if the Senate is passing
Wow.
it, that's the state. So
Okay, all right.
and yeah, so I guess nothing's happening. I thought it'd be interesting to see them move, and I don't think it matters. Who cares? We keep running into the same thing where they extort taxpayer money to pay for these stadiums and repairs or new stadiums, and I'm so tired of it. And I'm like, at some point, we got to say no. The problem with that is you say no, someone else ends up saying yes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, our community, we'd love to have them over here. And so all of a sudden now you're dealing with, your team leaving, and now everybody's being blamed. Nobody wants to be at the helm when a team leaves. And it's just, everybody wants the teams, but nobody wants to pay those taxes, and you shouldn't have to pay the taxes. So I almost feel like there should be a federal law against using state, county, or taxes. You want to give tax breaks. I'm okay with that.
Should be voted on.
Give the team a tax break, no problem. But using taxpayer money, I don't even think it should be voted on. I think we need to stop this nonsense. It shouldn't even be a thing.
If a community wants to do it because they want to keep a team or they want
It's always a bad deal. And the community is a bunch of idiots if they think it's a good deal.
I think it should be voted
Here's why. Ralph, what happens when the stadium is paid for? Do they repeal the tax? Never.
Nope.
That money gets routed into some other program that some politician wants. Yeah. Once you open the door to a new tax, it's there forever.
I agree.
And that is a travesty. And these billionaires who could figure out a way to pay for their own stadium if they were forced to, none of them are poor. I mean, we were just talking the other day about a soccer team. The owner funded the stadium out of his own pocket, $600 million to build their little stadium.
Yep.
And it's like, well, if soccer can do that and they don't make anywhere near NFL money, if soccer can do it, no, I'm talking local American soccer.
American soccer. Okay.
If they can do it, the NFL should do this.
But you're also talking a 10,000 seat soccer stadium versus a
600 million versus $1.5 million. It's still doable. Yeah. And if you look at the books, and we are always giving you these stories on the air about how, okay, well, here's how much the NFL made because it's public record. And they can afford it. They can afford to build their own stadiums. I agree, they can.
I think there should be a vote from the community. It's here's what happens. Here's how much you would pay more in taxes if you were to go forth with this. Here's how much you would pay if you weren't. So I think that there should be transparency. I think there should be a vote.
So here's the thing. The problem
yes,
is they say, oh, it's just a quarter of a cent or it's a 1 penny tax. Oh, in the grand scheme of things, they don't realize that how big a chunk it starts to take out of everything. And I'm sorry. People can't always be trusted to do the smart or right thing. I think in this one, this is not a vote thing. This just needs to be a federal law thing. I mean, they just need to wipe the, you know what? Make me emperor. I'll take care of this. Old Donald Trumpy Trump could have made this a presidential order and ban that, couldn't he? I mean, he did like 100
You
plus
can
of
ban
these
anything
things.
you want to ban.
Doesn't mean the courts are going to agree,
Right.
but I mean, this is one where it's like, no more public money for these damn stadiums.
What I think they should do, and I think some places do it, is like they do like not a hospitality tax, but like a tax at hotels in the areas and stuff. So where travelers that come into the community, they pay a tax for that stadium. I think that's okay. It's not like it's affecting the community. It's just bringing money in to pay for that stadium. So it doesn't impact the community.
Yeah, I guess.
I like stuff like that.
That's a good point. So
I don't think that's they're generating enough off of that to pay for the stadium. That's why they need everybody who lives here's money.
What I don't
to
like
pay
is
for
when
the
they do all
stadiums.
these taxes for the stadiums, and then when you want to get a season seat, they have a seat license and they make you pay for the license on top of that. It's like you're already taking all my money in taxes. Now you want more.
Yeah, they're like, well, it generates business and okay, and it generates tax money. Really? Because I feel like we've generated your tax money, and they're like, well, this revitalizes the area, and then there's hotels and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah,
that is true,
but yeah, sure, there is a beneficial relationship, but guess what? Who else is benefiting? The hotel. They are benefiting from things. Everybody benefits from everybody.
The restaurants.
That doesn't mean that the taxpayer should have to be the ones to pay for it. If it's a good business model, a big business comes in, everybody benefits. When Intel came in, they plopped down their little thing there in Chandler, and so housing it had to happen. Oh, look, all these businesses around there had the restaurants and so it's always a mutually beneficial relationship, when there's a business involved, a big business comes through, it doesn't mean the taxpayer should have to pay for it. It just doesn't make sense.
Except for the Packers. They're the one exception.
How does that make sense? I mean, that is
They're publicly owned.
They're publicly owned.
Well, they're publicly owned, but they're not.
Which is a total BS.
Yeah, that's not.
It's total BS.
That's
what do you mean? It's
like
total
they're
BS?
more like a
You own like what, one share?
They're a corporation.
Yeah, it's just by a ton of people.
They're a corporation, and it's not owned by the taxpayers. It's owned by the people who have shares.
Oh, okay. I
That's
see.
true.
Well, there are tons of different people that have
Everybody's
shares
like,
in it.
hey, I got my Packer share. They get nothing for it.
They do get nothing for it.
So,
That's true.
that was a dumb tax. Everybody paid a stupid tax just to,
But you
for
knew
that
they
to
would, so
exist.
that's why they did it. That was smart.
It was smart. I don't know who did it, but that was smart.
That team has almost gone bankrupt though, numerous times. So I
And
don't
they
know if
should.
it's effective.
Well, I'm sure
But
the NFL will help them because you can't have that.
The NFL will. They will.
King Kitten says it's pouring down rain at the Diamondbacks game in Cincy. AZ 3, Cincinnati 2, bottom of top of the sixth. Like, is it pouring rain and they're playing through it? Because
probably stopped.
I don't see a rain delay
I know
on
in
here.
St. Louis they're delaying the game, so that's probably that whole area's
Might
getting
happen.
killed,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So far, the I see Kettle Metal is up to bat. So I don't have it on the screen. Donnie is watching the hockey, and he says, "I told you, Sam Bennett goal." Oh, good for you, man.
Nice.
Good for you. Panthers up 1-0 over the Oilers in the first. Right there.
What a first game that was, man.
That's
That
great
was
first
one of the best games
We
I've
got
seen.
we got a couple of good finals, Stanley Cup and the NBA.
It's gonna be good, man.
Kind of
gonna be
nice to
good.
see good play, even though people are like, "It's small market team."
Softball series is good too, and once college baseball Omaha comes around, that's going to be really entertaining too. So got a lot coming up.
I wonder if we could place a requirement on these NFL owners.
Like what?
All right,
A
if you-
requirement?
Yes, here's a requirement. If you jackasses get public funding for your stadium, how about real grass? How about you put real grass there for the players? Reggie Bush he just went off and he's just he won a lawsuit against the Rams because back in 2018 for the injury he suffered on that concrete surface. Remember that? And he says, yeah, listen, the NFL owners want the cheapest field surfaces. Players need to demand grass. He's basically saying the NFLPA has got to put its foot down. Because here's the thing. When the soccer comes to town, they're like, okay, we want to play at your stadium. We're going to pay you a bleep ton of money, but we need real grass for our soccer players. And the owners are like, sure, yeah, absolutely. It's like, what? Why not for the football players? Why not do that for the football players?
Because they're not getting a net profit as opposed to spending on turf.
So they do that. They're getting that to make money off the soccer peoples, but they won't do that to protect the health and safety of their own product and their own players.
Yeah.
Dumbest damn thing ever. They need to find a way. I understand there's some circumstances, some areas, but I think going forward, you got to find a way, make it all. If you can get grass, make it grass.
It's all about leverage too. And maybe the owners understand that these soccer teams wouldn't come to their stadiums if they didn't have good grass to play on.
Well,
So,
the NFLPA has got to exert
Leverage,
some
yeah.
power on this, and at some point, the players all need to say, "Yeah, I'm tired. I mean, I'm gonna lose my career
Mm-hmm.
because you guys are just too cheap to put real grass
How
in
many
there."
stadiums have bad? I mean, like they use field turf now in a lot of places, which that stuff is good.
MetLife.
I
mean,
want to see
MetLife is the
real
one.
grass.
is bad,
And
yeah.
here's the, don't tell me you can't do it, because every little pothead ever was able to do hydroponics in their closet
True.
and make pot. So what you do is you got tons of lights in the stadium. Just also have up there these ultraviolet, like it's like the real sun. So you grow your grass right there, and when there's nobody in there, because you don't want anybody to get
But why-
sunburns, and you just grow your grass.
Why grow grass?
I mean, Arizona had natural grass inside the Dome Stadium for years,
Right.
and they had the grow lights, and they were always using the grow lights, and they did a pretty good job of
the street
keeping-
value of that grass.
keeping the grass going. I mean, it started to wear out by the end of the season, and then they put in this turf. Ralph, what is that?
The field turf.
field turf
That stuff's
in there
great.
in the stadium, and nobody's complaining about it. Everybody likes it. It plays well. It gives you a true bounce.
There are people complaining about the surfaces. I see stories every week about this player, that player. Everybody
baseball
prefers.
or
If you
in-
go, no, I'm talking football.
You're probably talking Philly though, and you're probably talking New
Yeah.
York.
I'm talking everywhere. It talks about field conditions. Is grass is always better, and everybody's worried about injuries on everything but grass. You can get injured on grass too, but it's far less likely. It has way more give.
Grass is better, and it is more forgiving, especially when you're talking about football. The problem is these guys use these stadiums for more than football. That's the problem. These guys are making money from other things that are coming in: motocross, monster trucks, concerts. And they do a whole gambit of stuff in these stadiums. It's not
Our grass at State Farm's Field just comes out of the building.
Yeah, it rolls out of the field, but
they
that
rip
was
it out.
very expensive to do.
Like they don't have it; they rip it out, and then after the season, it's done. There's no grass there anymore. It's concrete.
Yeah, but they grow some.
They
turf
grow.
to
They have to grow it
Sure,
every year,
sure.
right? But there's a lot of money involved.
It's new turf every.
The field, like for instance, in
it's the
Seattle,
cost of doing business.
they have
Ralph.
field turf in Seattle, and they have a soccer team that plays on it. The football team plays on it. Everyone plays on it.
Cost
a
of
good
doing
deal.
business, and let me tell you, it's a fair cost to make sure that the players aren't ripping out their knees and their ankles.
Well, when these stadiums, these multi-use stadiums, can figure out a way, like State Farm Stadium, or I guess it's not State Farm anymore. What is it now?
They changed it.
I think it's still State Farm.
I was just
Oh, is it State
Arizona.
Farm?
Oh,
Okay.
they actually might have changed it.
Anyway, when they figured out a way to roll it out, the turf out, and there's a concrete floor that they can do all these
State Farm.
concerts and stuff on, they don't have to put it on the turf, and they can take care of the turf, and it gets natural sunlight. These other stadiums that have the opportunity to have turf, they want the money from these concerts, and they're not going to pay money to have the turf taken care of, and it will tear the turf up when they have the concerts and the motocrosses and the monster trucks. These owners are greedy, man. They're money hungry. And the best way to do it is put turf in there, and then they put plywood over the turf, and it's a no muss, no fuss type of situation.
Damn the man.
I got you.
Damn the man.
I got you.
Okay, so it's 3-2 right now. Diamondbacks over the Reds, middle of the sixth, and we got a tie game. Stanley Cup final game 2, Panthers and Oilers all knotted up at 1.
They tied it up. Wow.
Yep, that's that kind of game, isn't it?
Come on, Panthers.
What's that?
Oilers win that series.
Dude, they're tied right now.
Just telling you.
Come on, Panthers.
Oilers win.
It was a close game the last game.
It's
I
gonna
picked
be a
the
great
Oilers
series.
too.
It could be a
It's fun.
7-game series, but I think Oilers win that.
Don't take my fun away.
I would never.
We don't
take
want the
fun away. I'm
Canadians
trying to get
to
your
win.
grass.
They booed our national anthem.
Wait, what? Oh, the Canadians. Oh,
The
yeah.
Canadians booed our national anthem.
They
We
got-
need to beat them.
They just scored again, by the way. It's
Okay.
2-1 Oilers.
The Canucks did.
Oh,
Oilers they're on a mission. That's a team of destiny.
Damn it.
that's
Yeah,
a good team.
You
too.
really
They're
can't
finally
say that
healthy.
till they win.
They've been injured
gonna
all
win.
year too, so they're
They're
underseeded.
finally not injured for the first time in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Third.
Damn it.
Yeah. This
The
is-
Daily Blender has been injured since we've existed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We have never been injury free.
Never.
I mean, I'm probably the reason why a lot because I injure people, but you know,
He does.
You did throw me off the roof.
Yeah, and me.
you can't
for the
know
record.
that because you were on the ground and I was on the roof.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Going back to
He actually threw Randy on me after he threw me off.
does anyone have AstroTurf still? Is it just does New York does? Don't they?
I don't think you mean in the not the old form. I mean,
New
like,
York's pretty
there's
bad.
new version with the little pellets and stuff. There are
No, that's field turf.
yeah.
But I
Okay.
don't
The one
think
where
New
you
York-
need like where they were wearing like basketball shoes
the
on.
Met Stadium is that? It's not field turf, is it?
I don't know. I'll have to see.
Because that's where
that.
every
Met
player
Stadium?
complains about. The Metropolitan.
Met Stadium, I think, is
No, not Met
natural
Stadium.
turf.
I'm talking-
MetLife is what he's
MetLife.
talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
at MetLife.
MetLife is the
Or
one
Veteran
there's a lot of
Stadium for
injuries.
that fact in Philadelphia. I thought their turf was really
MetLife
bad, too.
is that
Is it
that
field turf?
turf with the what
the
do you call
rubber?
it? The rubber. Yeah.
No, it is field turf.
Well, somebody figure this out, and when we come back, I don't know. I'll try to forget it ever happened. I don't know. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Angela Gonzalez, reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite.
Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Now, you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news, or you can get the whole story when it breaks. The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
You know what's sad is well, I guess it happens. 82 years old is not too bad a score. I always call the age of people when they die a high score. 82.
Yeah.
If you get past 80, then
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's on bonus time.
Well done.
But Steve Wright, the NFL lineman who molded that Man of the Year trophy, you know what I'm talking about? The one that I always thought that was Walter Payton. That turns out he was not the trophy. This guy who just passed away was. And this guy had an interesting career. He was drafted by both the Packers in the NFL and the Jets in the AFL back in 1964, but he chose Green Bay. He won 3 championships there. He played in Super Bowls 1 and 2, and he had a nice long career. And he was like, in 1970 when Johnny Unitas was the first player to get the NFL Man of the Year award trophy, he was just like, Steve Wright was just tickled by it. He's like, it's funny. He's like, I wasn't that great a player. He says, but every time they get the trophy, they were getting like, here's me. He just was just, now you see it on the jerseys and
I
stuff.
thought it was the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
It is now. Walter Payton got the award in 1977, and after he died in 99, that's when they changed the name, but they've kept the same sculpture. So that's where I always thought too that this was a statue of Walter Payton on the sidelines, but nope. That was 6'6", 250 pounds Steve Wright, and he bounced around the league quite a bit, but people had a lot of respect for him, and he looked like a gladiator in that cape, and that's what they call the statue the gladiator.
I actually learned something on the Daily Blender today.
Can you believe that?
I mean, that's why you should listen every day because, you know, we impart all sorts of things that people don't know. And now, you know.
I'll guarantee you it wasn't on purpose, and we'll try not to ever do that again.
All right.
But so anyway, yeah, he passed away. So at 82.
Well, well done.
Good run.
Good job. Baker's Cocky Hens is saying, hey, take it easy on Canada. Let Canada have something. They haven't even had their own sport in decades. They got nothing but cold and snooty accents, eh?
Good.
It's true.
Well, they got maple syrup.
Yeah.
They do have that.
Yeah, but it's the dark kind. It doesn't taste very good.
Oh, no. The Canadian's way better.
You think so?
I bought some American maple syrup. I think it was from Connecticut or something. Not great.
No.
Not great. Sorry, Canada has the maple syrup down, and they also have like a mafia on it too. Like the way they control it, and like the one little bottle of maple syrup, $15. I bet now it's even more with the tariffs.
Jeez, man, that's
well. They got to do something to pay for that health care up there. So,
and my wife, she's like, I can't do log cabin. So I got to go get this. It looks like it's a whiskey bottle too. It's $15 bottle of maple syrup.
So does she kind of like sneak across the border, buy it, and then come back? Is that what she does?
No,
Sort
I'm
of
paying
like
full freight, man.
Full freight.
Why no log cabin?
Yeah.
Why no log cabin?
Log
Dude,
cabin
not
syrup.
real.
Have you ever had that?
I was just curious.
It's like let me tell you, it's the difference between Kool-Aid, which would be the log cabin syrup, and
well, it's American maple, like
orange juice.
It's not really maple.
I don't know. That was a bad comparison. But
Orange Kool-Aid and orange juice.
Does she go to the world's market to buy it, or does she order it?
I just get it at the damn store.
Actually, sell it at regular stores.
Well,
Sure.
I thought that Alex,
know that.
with her background in the military, and she would just get all
Has
of
it
her gear on.
parachuted in?
Yeah. and
Hold
she
on, I
would,
did not know your wife was in the military.
She would go across the border undetected, and then
tank driver,
buy
yeah.
up what she
Wow.
needed, and then go back across the border.
That's funny.
See what I mean?
Yep.
Listen, Triple H, you better be careful. She knew about you before you were even hired here, Jack. She's
you were
got a
born.
whole rundown on you all about you and your family and your all the people in your family from like about 100 years ago.
Yeah, I'm totally not scared about that. That's
You should be. You
yeah,
should be. And if a Blackhawk shows up over your house, you're done. Your number has come in, Jack.
oh my gosh, that's
I am. Yeah.
I used to know a guy who worked for.
How do you expect me to be composed, Randy?
I knew a guy who worked for the Air Force, the military air news. You know what was that? The the military air news, the radio, Armed Forces radio,
Armed Forces Radio and Television Network.
It was this guy, and I used to give him a hard time all the time on the phone.
Oh no!
And then the one day he did. He says, "Hey, by the way, what's your latitude and longitude?" I'm like, I don't think I'm coming to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Baker's Cocky Hen says log cabin is to maple syrup what fruit snacks are to an actual apple. There you go.
That's, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's
right
a
there.
good comparison.
There's no high
Abs-
fructose corn syrup.
Absolutely.
Now I understand.
Moist One improved mine by saying Tang versus real OJ.
That's
There
another
you
good
go.
one.
Nice.
That's
When
another
I
good
first
one.
saw the word Tang from Moist One, I thought it meant I didn't know what he was talking
Well,
about.
What's one being legit?
yeah, Wayne
about
Dang.
that?
What a
He
sweet
has his
food
moments.
Tang.
He does have his moments.
And then Randy just undid it right there.
What do you mean?
What? I heard that.
What are you talking about?
Ladies
That's
and
a-
gentlemen, it is
It's a
time now
Song.
for On This Date
Yes, it is.
in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1892 at Washington, D.C.'s Boundary Field, Benjamin Harrison became the first U.S. president to attend a Major League Baseball game. The commander-in-chief watched the Cincinnati Reds defeat the Washington Senators in the last place team there in the National League 7-4 in 11 innings. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Wow.
And then that was the only thing anyone ever remembered Benjamin Harrison for.
No kidding.
Benjamin Harrison in 1892.
He didn't do a whole lot for the country, huh?
Never.
He went to a baseball game. He did that. Anybody else know what he's famous for?
No.
How did he get the job?
Somebody died.
Was he a vice president? That makes sense.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Somebody look up Benjamin Harrison and
You never heard of Benjamin Harrison?
give his
Yes, I
Wikipedia
Wow.
thrill.
He might be number one for most forgettable presidents.
Benjamin
If you go to
Harrison-
Benjamin Harrison on Wikipedia, all it says there is, "Why are you here?"
He was the 23rd president of the United States, serving from 1889 to 1893. Member of the Harrison family of Virginia. Grandson of the 9th president, William Henry Harrison. Yeah.
I don't remember that guy either.
A lot
To
of
be
forgettable
honest.
people in the Harrison family. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Harris. We weren't. That was no reflection on you.
No.
It might be a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe no. It's a total reflection.
I
on you,
actually
Harris.
missed what y'all said. I was looking at the Benjamin Harrison Wikipedia and got kind of locked in here.
Mhm.
So
locked in.
Is he fascinating?
What
did he do? Anything other
Not-
than go to a baseball game?
Not
George.
really.
Why did you send this to me? I don't know.
I haven't really seen anything
Come on.
too fascinating.
How many slaves did he own?
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
In 1892, I hope 0.
You never know, though, man. We're talking the Harrisons.
In 1892,
Harrisons.
0.
You know about
These
the
are
Harrisons now.
Maybe his granddad.
Yeah, crazy beard.
So,
Oh, no, that's not him.
Has anybody seen the new Tom Cruise movie?
Mission
The
Impossible.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning of his knees,
It was
because he's
awesome.
older. But yeah, I guess he set a Guinness Book of World Records. We always celebrate men when they do manly world records. And I got to say,
Okay.
it's a pretty good one. He got the Guinness World Record for most burning parachute jumps by an individual. So I guess in the movie, he jumps out of an airplane or something, and his parachute is on fire. And
On fire.
he jumped out of a helicopter 16 times, was strapped to a parachute, pre-soaked in fuel, and lit on fire 16 times. And
Wow.
according to Guinness, no
Wow.
other actor or even stuntman has come close to that amount of drops.
Wow. Good
So-
for him. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen the movie or not. I kind of want to have a
I've
Mission
seen it.
Impossible, like no spoilers.
I won't spoil. It's a good movie though.
Yeah, I mean, aren't all the Mission Impossibles kind of the same? Or
They all are, but they're all really good. Is the
Yeah.
thing.
Apparently, he lives in each one of. Yeah, there you go. He's running.
Yep. There you go.
he's got to do the Tom Cruise run.
Yeah.
Always.
He's got to
does.
take off a mask.
Yeah.
Moist one
does.
says, "Thank the Lord Xenu that he made it."
Lord Xenu.
That's a Scientology
I was
guy.
gonna say, that's a Scientology.
Oh, I didn't know what that was from.
Oh, look, show's over. Go ahead and what's the show called? Weekend Warriors tomorrow. Bye.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got